Hey, y'all. Thank you for hanging out. Sorry we were running a little bit behind, but welcome everyone in. I missed y'all. We were supposed to have our show last night, but it has been quite an event with Blake Lively. She's back in the game. We had a little lull there for a second. And now the 47.1 hearing took place yesterday. And today there was a bombshell drop from Victoria Burke, who made the 47.1 law. So we're going to get into all that. Shout out to the mods here. Thanks so much for hanging in with us, DFJ and Christina. And DFJ, shout out to you when we get to Victoria, because she keeps her receipts. Today I was like trying to look for something and I was like, I know you keep all the receipts. So DFJ provided some receipts on Victoria. So we're going to get into all of it. We also have Carol here from Docket Updates. So this is the rundown for today. We're going to get into the hearing, the 47.1 oral argument that happened, what went down, all that stuff, no right to appeal. And then we're going to get into everyone who was on the ground. I did invite everyone, so we'll see who pops in. Elsrich, Bocce, Clark, Carol. Then we're going to get into the Blake Brown craziness, the ripple effect of this law. A lot of people, if you blinked, you missed it. McSweeney just filed something in McSweeney versus Cohen couple days ago, and they cited Lively versus Wayfarer. So we're going to get into that. Plus a new game, Defend or Dismiss. I'm going to get into the docket with Carol because we had way too many stuff on the docket to do a docket rundown. So it'll be like a card game where she'll get to flip a card and we'll ask her whether she would defend or dismiss it. And it was inspired by Crime Con. I think Lauren, Jesse Weber, and I forget what other lawyers were on there. It was a lot of true crime cases, and they did that game. So let's get right into it. The hearing did happen on June 1st with Judge Lyman. In the Manhattan Federal Court. Both sides argued over California Code 47.1, the statute that protects survivors of sexual harassment from retaliatory defamation lawsuits. But he did not make a decision. We didn't think he would, but the ruling is pending. So this is what went down. Lively was represented by Michael Gottlieb, and Wayfarer was represented by Ellen Garofalo. So Michael's argument was that the court had already found that the complaint was filed in good faith, that Wayfarer failed to allege malice, and that the burden fell on Wayfarer to prove actual malice under 47.1. Ellen Garofalo's argument was that 47.1 was just simply a fee-shifting statute, which was like the Rule 54, what they were saying, like she could have simply just gone for that. It had Lively hasn't proven any damages, and she called it an end run around the canceled trial. Like, you should have just taken it to trial if you wanted all this damages, because we have to prove damages. Judge Lyman, one of the big things that came out was that he interjected and interrupted Michael Gottlieb before he got to his fourth point. And I love that Clark broke it down. We're going to get into Clark's breakdown, but he interjected and said that malice had not been fully foreclosed. So yeah, the ruling is pending. And let's go ahead and welcome Carol from Docket Updates is here, looking so pretty. You still got the pretty hair. What's up, Carol?
It's wash day tomorrow.
Hi, Ray. Thanks for joining us. I was like, I know that you're probably, from traveling and all that. What time did you get home last night?
Oh my gosh, so late, almost close to 1 a.m, I think it was when I got home. Maybe midnight. Oh my God, I don't remember. I texted Elsie around 1, like, hey, I'm home, but I think I got in just a little bit earlier.
Oh my gosh, I gotta bring in, because look who also is here. We got our girl Elsrich.
Whoop whoop.
Els. Okay, she could come on. I think she's muted. We do have a slide for you, Els. So if you want to come on when we get to your slide, because we got to give her flowers as well. But let's go ahead and shout you out. Docketupdates.com is what you run. It is a full scale. Let me bring it up real quick, because I have you on the featured section on Celebrity Dockets.
Thank you. Thank you guys for checking out the site. I still have not given up on that timeline. It is, I'm so many entries in. I'm in the 1233 docket, going through each document, transcribing any text messages that are not in text format, putting that all in order and in the same time zone so that you could follow it along as closely as possible. So hopefully that'll be live soon.
And so this is what it is. It's an independent court case site plus her companion YouTube channel, and it's one of the deepest archives that we have anywhere on Lively versus Wayfarer. It is a complete saga. You got all the characters, you got the deposition, play-by-play breakdowns of the filings. You have, for those who don't have TikTok, you have the TikTok creator videos there, so you can watch them right there, embedded into the site. And it's also going to be running the Wayfarer versus New York Times stuff, Wayfarer versus Harco. You're also covering Jones and Abel, right?
Yes.
So all of that you guys can find over on Docket Updates. I just wanted to give you your flowers there. So what was your highlight of the court case? Have you gotten to like decompress and like take it all in?
I think for the most part, I've gotten the big highlights, but I still want to go. I haven't gone to reread all of my notes to see if I've picked up anything new. But one of the big things that Elsie and I talked about on her channel today, hey girl, was that the news, the MSM mainstream media is pushing is that Lively wants to have another trial. And I almost thought that I was going crazy because I'm like, that's not what I took from the hearing at all. And what I took is that they just want to submit affidavits. They just want this to be on the docket. Like, here's the letters, judge. Here's this. Let's not put Blake Lively on the stand. They said we can repurpose testimony to be an affidavit form. So I thought they don't want another trial. I would be surprised that if the judge says, let's have a mini trial, I think Blake Lively would find a way to get out of this.
Yeah, and I agree with you because there was some reporting coming out where they were saying that, in fact, Gottlieb was like, well, no, we don't want that. Like, that he did make an argument when Lyman brought up, like, we'd have to have a whole other hearing. And he was just like, no. Like, we just want it on the briefs or whatever. And that there was kind of some sort of argument going back and forth between them. So I did hear that reporting coming out of it. Elsie, welcome to the channel.
Hi.
I love your background. You look
Thank
like
you. I'm sitting in my living room because I'm home alone with my son, and I think I messaged you. I cannot be on for super long.
Sure.
I'm gonna have to duck out, but I told Carol, I'm like, I really need to go to CJ's live because she always invites me into my life behind the camera is unbelievable. So I was like, I have to show up for her, but I can't stay for long. I'm not even 5 minutes. I'm not sure. Things are crashing in the back, but I wanted to.
Yeah, here's your slide. Let's get to your slide. We had Clark up next, but we're just going to skip over Clark. We'll get back to Clark. So you were live from
Clark is so sweet.
He really is. Huh?
I wanted to give you your flowers on that because I loved your interview style. Like, one of the things that I found from your interview style, especially with Sigrid, is like you make people feel really comfortable, like to talk to you, like, oh, even someone who was the ops, right? You made her really comfortable to be able to like open up to you. And like, you could see it in her face that she was like happy to talk to you almost. Like, she never saw anything coming. And then the way that you dropped the question, it wasn't in any like a gotcha kind of way either. It was like a very smooth way where you're like, well, I know that, like, you were agreeing with her almost. I know that Blake, wants to do advocacy and and then bam, you dropped it. So I wanted to give you your flowers because when I was watching your interview style, it was like pro level. It was really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What did it feel like being there doing the interview, as well as like not just Sigrid, but even with Sanctuary for Families? When you approached it, I noticed that it was almost the same style, but like then other people started getting involved. They were trying to put because you were literally like, what are we doing here? What is your point of view? First, you get the information from them, and then you ask the question. So how did it feel like to be interviewing them? Give us your take.
So first, thanks for having me, CJ. And, Carol was with me the whole time. And I think even I kind of shocked myself because then I told Carol this, and we already have this conversation on my channel. I hadn't posted it yet, but we didn't know who was going to show up, right? I didn't know if Sigrid was coming, Ezra was coming. And Carol, this was my first time being at the courthouse, ever seeing all the other attorneys. And it's not like I planned to ask Sigrid that. I didn't plan, and we didn't even know they would stop to talk to us because in the past, we've seen from other people's videos, Ezra does not stop to even say hi. Ezra stood there for longer than 10 seconds and was smiling in my face. And I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
That's my alarm to check on my kid. And Ezra was smiling in my face, Sigrid too was very, very nice. I feel like Sigrid is just kind of like her job to be nice, but she seemed very warm towards me. Ezra even, and I noticed earlier I was showing Carol when Ezra was done and she was leaving, she actually waved goodbye to me. I was like, what's happening? Because she's not supposed to be nice to me because she knows who I am anyway. But I thought it was very cool to be there to kind of I was mad almost that it was a 1 hour hearing and it was not a trial energy because that's what we were all looking forward to. And I told Carol when we were going back to the airport, this is not right. It doesn't, I never thought, oh, we would leave the courtroom and head to an airport. It was supposed to be leave the courtroom. Let's all go get a drink, talk about the craziness that happened at court today and go to bed and we'll be back tomorrow because this was supposed to be a 3-week trial. And all of a sudden that's kind of taken away from us. And I know it's not about us or the trial because that's not that's not the point.
I felt the same way because when I saw like the level of energies and then Bocce was there, like it gave you kind of like a preview of what it would have been like with the trial and everybody out there reporting. And there's something special, especially with the picture that I call the Sandlot picture. Let me bring it up real quick because I didn't put it on the show, but I was telling Carol yesterday
that was so funny.
This picture reminds me of the Sandlot, you know, where they're like summer of 1962. I'm like summer of 2026. It was a picture y'all took out there with Brian Friedman, and I posted it to X, and I was like, Team Truth. But the more I looked at it last night, and Carol just cannot with me because I text her in the middle of the night. It's like 11 p.m. It was almost midnight.
You said the pole to stop people from driving into the courthouse, the big pole. You said that is Elsie's bat.
Yeah, I was like, that's the bat. Dang it.
Wow.
I can't even find the picture now.
That's funny.
But
no, we almost got kicked away from there. I'm sure you guys saw my live. But the security guard was very polite also. He was very nice because he could have kicked us away from there. The whole time, apparently, we were supposed to be a little further to the right, but we were blocking the entrance. He was also very nice to us and very kind. Overall, I mean, like I said, this is something I would have wanted to do Monday. And especially even with today, with the news coming out with Victoria Burke, I would love nothing more than to know I'm going to see Sigrid tomorrow morning and I'm going to ask her. But now, no, I'm back home supervising my kid and I can't talk to Sigrid because you know how crazy it would be for me to walk up to Sigrid tomorrow morning and be like, we finally heard from Victoria Burke. Is the advocacy work that you are so, eager to talk about, the fact that you try to pretty much steal her bill from her? She said no, and you pretty much went like, is that the advocacy?
Because that is some crazy tea. And so I'm glad that you had like the preview of Sigrid, like spilling all that, because now just opposed to that, and maybe I'll add it to the show docket, because if you guys don't know, after the shows, I put all the show notes, so everything we're going over right now on the show, it'll be like available for those who just want to read without commentary. So maybe I'll add that one because I only included the Sanctuary for Families girl. But look, y'all, this is the picture, and then let me show you the Sandlot picture. Tell me it's not the same thing. One,
that's funny.
And two.
That is funny. That is hilarious. Carol's back. Okay, you guys, Carol's backpack. Can I tell you?
Yes.
The only thing that's not in Carol's backpack is an AED machine to resuscitate you. I'm actually, you know what? I never confirmed if there is one in there or not. There could be. Everything is in that backpack. Anything you could possibly need to survive the apocalypse is in that woman's backpack. It was like a clown car. Things just kept coming out of there. She was like, oh, you need a light? Here. You need a charger? You need a power bank? You need a dental floss? You need wipes? And everything just kept coming out of the backpack. So shout out to my producer. If I ever make it in this industry, Carol, you have a place with me, babes.
And it was wonderful because Teresa apparently said that y'all were so well prepared. She's like, it felt like it was like a whole entire like setup. Like they had mics and they had like that. You guys, I mean, y'all were pretty much professional.
The mics was Carol's. I had a phone and a tripod. Carol had a mic and a light. She had everything.
The tripod, Teresa was glazing over. She's like, they had they pulled it up. They put the phone sideways. No, you got to put it this way. Like they knew everything how to do it. So
no, but Carol is amazing. She quite literally was like my back support, and she was my princess for the rest of the ride. I treated her like the princess that she is, and she hates that I call her princess.
No. You almost made me spit out my coffee.
The whole time in the airport, people were looking
at us like, in the car. Like you guys took us like on everything. Like The ride
Yeah,
to the
no,
airport, eating at the airport.
you guys should have seen us at dinner. That would have been a hoot. We should have gone live at dinner. That was better. That was a better show that you guys missed. It was insanity. The bartender was having a ball with us though. He got it. He got his tip and his money's worth with entertainment with us. And the restaurant was super quiet, so we weren't disturbing anybody. But we got our money's worth too, except my rosemary burger. But that's neither here nor there.
So I don't know if you've seen this on Reddit, but somebody had posted, "Is Sanctuaries for Families legal director protester Dorchin late hold okay?" So I put it next to what your YouTube was when you interviewed her, because apparently somebody did a deep dive on her, and you guys can click it. We'll go to it, but I wanted to get your take on it. Somebody did a deep dive on her, and you know why she talked about the porn stuff? Because she apparently started like this whole. She's anti-porn. She had filed an amicus brief for Penthouse Pet, and she's saying that porn leads to murder and sadism and child sex abuse. Like, she's very like anti-porn, apparently. A lifelong crusade against pornography. Will you
She would
wear?
she would have hated to see Blake Lively's OnlyFans post today.
But wait, it gets even funnier. I know, right? The organization that she started is called Women Against Pornography, or WAP. I just know she hates to see Cardi and Meg coming. WAP.
I'll be back.
All right. Let me remove her real quick. But I just thought that was hilarious. The WAP, like literally Women Against Pornography, and then the acronym is WAP. You can't make this stuff up from these people. And we did have let's just kind of like not go in order, because she brought up the OnlyFans. So for those that don't know what that was, let's not go in order and just go to Blake is wild for this. Blake Lively attempts to create a distraction from the bad PR she's received during 47.1 motion. And this is what she posted, y'all. "My account has officially turned into an OnlyFans." I was like, I don't understand what she meant by it. Like, is that a man purse or is that Blake's purse, first of all? And then, like, she cuts off his face. So people are like, some people were saying that it's not recent and that's why she cut off his face. And I know me and Bocce like argued back and forth about whether the last picture she posted with the white tank top, because Clark pointed out that he'd been in that same white tank top in the same outdoor patio in 2023 or something. But Bocce was saying that it was different, that his muscles were a little bit bigger. I still think she's posting old pictures. What do you think about this picture, Carol?
It was unnecessary.
Like,
I don't like.
She's stunted. Like, you know how they say you're stunted at the age that she became famous? Wasn't she like 17 or something?
Yeah. That whenever that people get famous, like that's the age that they stay.
Yeah, because like, okay, you have a crush on your husband. Like, we don't need to know. Like, okay,
but also like she's so kind of like hypocritical. You know what I mean? Like this is the type of jokes that she just finds inappropriate. Like when she's setting the tone for how people interact with her, how people talk about her, and this is the things that she's okay with, you know, and then she turns around and say, "No, I'm not okay with that."
Yeah, and not only that, but I don't know, why did I think that something was going to come out with OnlyFans? Because Ashley Brianna Eve been making me think about SEO, and I'm like, is this SEO? Is something going to drop about OnlyFans? And she's trying to like, because it was weird that she would use OnlyFans, right? Like,
That's a good catch.
I was like, why would she use OnlyFans? My account has officially turned into an OnlyFans. Like, I don't know. It was just, I don't know why she used that wording. And I hate her and Taylor Swift because they make me overthink when I shouldn't even be thinking about that crap. Like, especially with the Easter eggs. I used to love Taylor Swift's Easter eggs. And now it's like, it's too much. Because then you have to wonder, like, does this mean something? Does it not? I was literally looking in the background. I was looking in his pocket. Like, what is she trying to like say or do? Because remember with Deadpool, like nobody really knew what it was about. And then we realized it. And there's some pictures where she's posted, and then like the one with the closet, that some people thought that it was like a message to Taylor Swift because it had like the bracelet or whatever. There's all these like little Easter eggs. So yeah. I hate that they do that to us.
Someone in the comments said that maybe her photos are getting leaked on OnlyFans or something. Her old, you remember she had that scandal about sending Ben Affleck photos.
Yeah, and Trish said the same thing. She's never seen corn, but is gonna joke about it on OnlyFans. Exactly. That's just crazy. So anyway, shout out to all the members that are here, and shout out to everyone from Carol's channel who's here as well. I appreciate y'all. For
Yes, thank
showing up.
you for joining.
Yeah, thank you for joining, and that's really cool. Oh, Elsie's back. Elsie, baby, okay? Baby boy, okay?
He's fine. My closet isn't.
Oh shit! Did he knock
He's
it?
taking everything on the lower racks of the hangers. So shout out to me.
Well, if I was there, I'd help you. I'm gonna fly out there to help you put all your hangers. I
No, it's
appreciate
okay.
you.
If you put it back, he's going to just. I need to do it once he's asleep.
Because he'll just pull him back down.
He'll put him back down, which I have to go try to make him sleep soon, which probably won't happen. But I need to pretend like I'm
Okay, so
mothering.
let me play the game with you before you have to leave, because I don't want you to leave.
Oh, we're
before
playing a game.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
but
playing.
before we play the game, and I know Carol said before, but I want you to say this throughout the show so people understand, because I've heard from multiple creators now and people who are not at the hearing, and even big, people, media reporting Blake Lively wants another trial. Blake Lively, that's the last thing that woman wants. Please, everybody understand that's not what happened at court yesterday. What happened is Judge Lyman actually saying we could have just gone to trial and done this, and her team saying, actually, no, Your Honor, other judges have been able to make decisions like these without trial, so you should be able to as well. And Judge Lyman saying, does that even sound constitutional to you? And Mike Gottlieb actually opening his mouth and saying yes, which everybody gasped in the court. Like, what are you talking about? So guys, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And this is no shade to anybody, but like, and the way that the information came out, it could be misconstrued. Don't just let anybody tell you that Blake Lively wants, whether mini trial, whatever. What they're asking for is a bench trial, which quite literally is Judge Lyman alone in a corner office somewhere making a decision based on some motions and affidavits and letters. They don't want evidence. They don't want testimony. They don't want a jury. So tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's play a game real quick, CJ.
Okay, so the game is finish the lyric. So we're gonna all challenge our inner Charlie Babcock. So as the guests come in, I don't know if it's just gonna be y'all. I know Bachi said she was gonna try and come in, but I figured like this was something quick and easy for those that just wanted to pop in and pop out. So finish the lyric for this. It doesn't take a crystal ball to see what.
Is this a song?
Oh yeah, so this is the Ella Langley song that so you don't know the lore. Okay, so Charlie Babcock, when he filed his answer for 47.1, you know how they're like still going through it over here in Texas over the jurisdiction issue or whatever. So when he filed his response, I think it was just like the initial one. Charlie Babcock is Jed Wallace's lawyer, and at the very end, it's a song lyric from Ella Langley. I was gonna play it, but I didn't want to get my like channel whatever, but it basically goes, it doesn't take a crystal ball to see. And so I was like, it might be fun to finish the lyric. It doesn't take a crystal ball to see what, because he dropped the mic on that and it's like, it doesn't take a crystal ball to see that basically Blake is wrong. I forget exactly
how
he
should be denied.
That she should be denied. Yeah.
That's how it ends.
That's how it ends, right?
Yeah, that's how it ends. She was like, that she should be denied.
Oh, you want the actual lyric?
So I don't know what the actual lyric says, but no idea who Ella Langley is, but I love Charles Babcock.
I have no, because I was like, I don't know that song and I don't know who that is. I'm sorry to this girl. Sorry to this woman.
Okay, but just finish the lyrics. It doesn't take a crystal ball to see what when it comes to Blake Lively. What would you say to finish that line?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Like we're making it up?
Yeah, like you're making it up. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were actually hoping I know the song. Okay.
No.
Oh.
The answer's supposed to be whatever you think. It doesn't take it's like a finish
like a speed.
I see.
Like
Carol, are you going first?
Like whatever. It's not a competition game. It's just like a fun game.
Oh, okay, I see.
And it's whatever comes to mind first.
Yep.
Okay.
Julian says I thought he was referring to Without a Crystal Ball. No, it was an Ella Langley song.
It doesn't take a
so it doesn't take a crystal ball to see that.
Take authorship, Ellsrich. Yes.
Oh my God, I was gonna say that Blake Lively wants authorship of 47.1, which is funny because of Victoria Burke. And somebody just said take authorship, Ellsrich. That's funny.
And also that she likes to take over other people's works that they've been doing for what she's been doing this for 7 years, and she's trying to take over that. And she's doing secret meetings with her advocacy group.
Yeah, we're gonna play the video. So let's finish the sentence and then we'll get into playing the Victoria.
It doesn't take a crystal ball to see that Lively is always uncomfortable and makes people uncomfortable.
That
What
Blake is
about
a
you, Al?
thief.
Ooh, that
Blake
Liley.
is a little thief. She's a liar and a thief.
It doesn't take a crystal ball to see that Blake will torch anything she touches. Like literally
Amen. Amen.
anything she touches. Okay, so let's get into the whole Victoria Burke. We're just kind of like hopping around. Victoria speaks right here. So shout out to DFJ for bringing us the receipt. So here, I don't know what, we'll just play like a little snippet of the video, but basically she said that Blake Lively wanted to take over, basically be the face. They're fighting. That's why I put Victoria versus Blake. So now it's not even Blake versus Wayfarer. They're fighting over who gets to be the face of this law. Who's going to be the rep of it? Who's going to be like in front? And y'all remember Amber Heard with the ACLU, right? That they basically wanted to make her the face of this, Me Too movement, whatever. Like it normally is like nonprofit organization. So it's funny that Victoria Burke isn't part of a nonprofit, I don't think, but she works with a bunch of nonprofits. But I think it's funny that now they're basically turning on her. And I wonder if in this video she says that there was a nonprofit that was working with Blake behind the scenes. I'm going to play that part real quick. I wonder if it was Sanctuary for Families. Oh, yes.
Isn't Sanctuary for Families the one organization that Ezra is tied to?
Yeah. So I
Yes,
wonder.
but she didn't mention. I watched the video with Megan Kelly. She doesn't mention any organization. She just said that she got, communication that Blake wanted to take 47.1 nationwide. And she reached back out and said, actually, I'm not interested in that. I'm already doing that on my own at my own pace, flying under the radar. And I haven't been receiving any resistance. And I especially don't want your client because she's been compared to Amber Heard. And then Blake's team reached back out to her and was like, we respect your perspective, but we are still moving forward. Who does that?
Yeah. The passive aggressiveness of I appreciate your perspective. That to me,
That
I was
part
like,
was so disrespectful. And I
What
said as
happened to
much in my
consent?
video. Go ahead, Carol. I didn't hear.
And I said, what happened to consent there?
Right.
They don't hear no. They hear whatever they just do whatever they
that
want.
was a good one. That's a good one because I didn't even think about that. You're right. Like, she said no, and then you're still like that is definitely.
And then went ahead. I think she said she went ahead to change a paragraph or add something to a paragraph, which is so authorship Blake. And then she said she asked them to send her whatever they changed so she could see, and they refused to send it to her. She finally got her hands on it to see, and it's not something she approves of because it's kind of like protecting attorneys. And she's like, attorneys have insurance. They don't need protection. This is supposed to help survivors. So she's like very against it. My only issue right now was I saw earlier, there is a screenshot that I think Katie posted on Instagram or something like that. You're not the main character, babes.
He sure is.
Is Blake when it was dismissed last year, the defamation suit was dismissed. Victoria kind of was singing a different tune, saying and I don't want to misquote her, but I went on her TikTok. If you want to pull her TikTok up, CJ, you will see also she said in her caption, this is what her 47.1 was intended to do anyway. RJ, please, thank you so much for being here.
Who's
She could have. She probably couldn't.
If you have it, you can also pull it up.
She says, breaking news, the defamation lawsuit against Blake Lively has been dismissed, and not just for her, but also for Ryan Reynolds, Leslie Sloan, and the New York Times. My bill AB 933, California 47.1, worked exactly as I intended to speak your truth. Act to work, meaning that now Lively's team can file for attorney's fees and treble damages. Fast forward to, and then she goes on to quote Judge Lyman and the New York Times. Fast forward to now, her Instagram caption quite literally reads, at the end, and I'm just going to read what it says at the end. Honestly, I don't think the judge should grant attorney fees in this matter. So it's like, what's up, babes? On the one hand, I still don't agree that Blake should be.
Let me go back to this receipt. So they found that receipt from way back. That's a really good one because we had this one from DFJ who pulled this one up where she was happily. This is dated May 25th. When was that one dated? Do you know? Do you know when that one was? It was right after the case got dismissed, then, right?
No, that was June for sure. As soon as the case was dismissed.
June of 2020. So this is May of 2025, where she also, DFJ pulled this one up where she's like, basically using Blake Lively's name to hawk this law in Oregon before it was even used. She says, most recently, the law drew national attention when it was cited in the high-profile defamation case involving Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. So I was arguing on X because I'm on Victoria Burke's neck still. I know a lot of people are like, she's doing the right thing now. She's turning against Blake. But I'm like, well, she's only turning against Blake. It reminds me of like Colleen and all them. Like the moment that she becomes quicksand, they start turning on her. But before that, they don't, like Colleen was like, well, I don't know. I'm not on any sides and, all that stuff. But because here she is, people were like, oh no, she didn't know back then. By May, the lawsuit info was already out, the website. The dancing had already been debunked. A ton of stuff was already out by May. The only thing that wasn't was the great unsealing. So for me, it's like, I don't know. What do y'all think? What's y'all's take on Victoria Burke? Like, I'm on her neck. That's my take. What do y'all think?
I mean, a lot of new information came out with the great unsealing. A lot of stuff, a lot of the scheming, a lot of the behind the scenes that they had sealed for almost a year. So she did take a peek into that stuff and saw this is not the type of lawsuit that this was intended for. If they're
I think really quickly at the end of the day, I'm gonna do the most Blake Lively thing ever. Two things can be true at the same time. It could be wrong for Blake Lively to try to use her law without her her knowledge and without her consent. But considering here in May, she's trying to pretty much use Blake's name. And then we find out when it's dismissed, she's saying that's exactly what my bill was meant for. But in 2026, when it looks like Blake is going down with the ship, you're trying to salvage it. You can salvage the law for what it's meant for. But I don't know that I appreciate the two-facedness of it all with her Instagram caption saying, honestly, I don't think Judge Lyman should grant attorney's fees. But like I just pointed out, in June, her TikTok caption quite literally says, and now she can get attorney's fees. So which one do you really believe? And I mean, the first place you go is Megyn Kelly to, give you a little interview. And the interview kind of cuts off abruptly. I'm not sure if I'm the only one who feels the same way. If you guys got to watch, it just kind of stops
let's
in
play
a
the end
very,
of it real quick.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
it
it was
does. It
like,
ends, so y'all can see it. Let's play real quick. Wait, hold on.
we can't hear anything, CJ.
Oh, you can't hear it? Okay,
No.
hold on. Let me take it off and then thank you for doing that because, yeah, it keeps. Hold on, stop screen and then let me share it. But yeah, it does cut off abruptly. I'm glad that I'm not the only one because when I saw it, I was like, why is it cut off like that? Was there more to it?
So Don't Fuck With Justice is saying there is a part 2, which I did see. There's a part 2 with like an attorney and another man, or two attorney, a woman and a man. But the interview itself with Victoria doesn't continue in the part 2, and it still cuts off. Like there is no, oh, thank you for being here, nothing from Megyn. Like it just stops after she talks, almost as though she said something that they just edited out and just didn't continue the conversation. It stops very abruptly.
This spring, her attorney was having meetings that I was unaware of with one of the advocacy groups once a week, where she was assisting in redrafting the bill. And I understood that she added or contributed to an additional paragraph, and I kept asking to see the additional paragraph. It was never sent to me, but I understood it was something to protect the attorneys who would be, like the equivalent of like Blake's attorney. And so I asked for that portion to be removed from the bill language because I felt the focus should be on survivors purely because attorneys have insurance.
And then it just cuts off, like it just blacks out, like because the attorneys have insurance. To me,
so people are saying there's a premium version. I think I'm not paying that, so I guess we'll get to see it.
Well, somebody needs to screenshot it and share it.
But even if this is a short version, that's a very weird way to stop an interview.
What else is? Yep, go to the premiere, which is longer. What else was there in addition in the premiere, Gwen? Her premiere for her hour show. It's not the premium. Oh, it's not premium. It's the premiere for the 1 hour show. You don't have to pay.
I see. Because I saw with the attorneys, just not her.
Okay. So is there any other like little Easter eggs? And now I'm curious about it. We had Bocce here and then she just left. So I don't know what happened.
Let me text her.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to duck out too because my son is not enjoying this. He's attached at my hip right now. So I'm gonna watch you guys. I'm gonna keep watching. I'll try to stay in the comments, but if I stay any longer, he's gonna keep interrupting and it's not gonna be fun for anybody. So I'm gonna jump off. But I appreciate you for having me, and I
Well, I
appreciate you
appreciate you
guys.
finding that June 5th thing. Like, I gotta pull up her
That
TikTok.
I don't. That's no credit to me. I
Hello?
just before I came on saw
Hey,
Katie
Bachi's up here
posted
now.
that. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off. And Carol
Um,
and I did a recap of trial and everything that I'm
yes.
gonna post tomorrow morning. So you guys keep an eye out for that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Y'all go ahead and follow Elsrich, and she's on the show notes, so you guys can go ahead and follow that as well on the show notes. All that she did for the lives and everything. Let's see where she at. She's right here. Thank you, Els. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Love you. She's so cute. I'm glad she came on, and she's like, it's because CJ always invites me and then I don't go on. So I like, did I guilt her into it? I'm like, asked her so many times. But I appreciated it, even if it was just for a little bit. Like, that was cool to get her perspective and have her pull that receipt up, because it's crazy that she flip-flopped so many times. It's like now there's two proofs. There's two different documents that prove that she was using it when it was convenient. And I feel like me and Elsie were both on the same side where we're like, nah, that wasn't cool. And you're like, well, let's give her some grace. Some people in the chat were also saying give her grace. But here's the thing with the law. The law, the way it was written, was pretty much as we saw, is unconstitutional almost. Like, there's too many things that are like left unsaid with the verbiage of it, that it complicates things for the defendant. So either way, the law as it was written, it wasn't, I don't think is going to help survivors. I mean, there's already the one case from March, right? That Ellen quoted. Remember the Evans versus Walker?
Yeah.
And they already said, like, no, it wasn't dismissed on 47.1, because I feel like it's almost the same thing as anti-SLAPP. LGA was the one who said that it's like anti-SLAPP covers some stuff, but not like you just saying it out like in the town square. Like if somebody were to just say it like out loud, like at their job or at, out in the town square, that wasn't protected speech. And now this is protected. But I just feel like it could be such misuse for it the way it's written. So maybe this is a way to wake up Victoria to rewrite it herself and try to lobby it. But it seems like Blake has taken ownership, at least of the New York part.
No, she's going to take over the nationwide thing. I mean, that's what she said. And she's in the waiting room. Bachi is.
I tried to add her, but it keeps undoing. I don't know what's going on. I try to add you, and it just makes you go. Can you hear me, Butch?
I can't hear any of y'all's if you're speaking.
Yeah,
Do you have your volume up? Okay, hold on. Let me text her.
She's muting her. It says your guest chose to mute themselves.
Okay, so yes.
Volume up. I don't know maybe it's her phone. All right, we're gonna get Bocce back up here, but yeah, Else, y'all check out the show page for this, because Else's interview with Sanctuary for Families was she's not in here anymore, so I don't think she can read that. You'd have to send her a text. Yeah, I loved how she did that interview with the Sanctuary for Family lady, and then she just went berserk because she didn't know what she heard.
I was gonna say, I think that maybe she's feeling the way Justin felt when Blake Lively was taken over, and she's the little guy here. They're just going to steamroll over her, and she's trying to create waves and potentially some backlash for Blake Lively to stop her in her tracks from taking over.
All right, here's Bocce. Bocce, we got you. Can you hear us? You're muted on your end. I can't unmute you. You're still muted. Can you unmute yourself? Maybe you could hear us if you unmute yourself. Do you have a mic or something connected to it? Or Bluetooth?
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, she might have Bluetooth. Yeah, she's like, yeah, I have my Bluetooth.
No, I don't have Bluetooth, but it finally, whatever I did, just jolted it back so I could actually hear you.
Yeah.
Are you getting your steps in? Look at you motivating
me.
because
I woke up late, obviously, today. So I only have I think last time I checked, I only have 7,000 steps and I need 12,000 for today. So
we got your little show card also for Bocce for the show today. There she is. I love your rebrand, Bocce Go Hawks. Very spirited. I love the red, white, and blue. It just feels so good. She was live from the courthouse and posted a video in the very wee hours of the night. Because how did I miss it? I was texting you and you were like, yeah, I'm just getting home. And for some reason, YouTube has not been notifying me of, like, it'll notify me like the next day, like new video, and it's not even live anymore. So I don't know what's going on. But she did I linked it here. She was live, and you were talking a lot about, that it's bigger than Blake and stuff. We were just talking about Victoria Burke. Have you had a chance to view the video and all that stuff?
I have not, and because I couldn't, I was listening to you the whole time when I was driving, but I right when you were about to start playing that video, I couldn't hear a thing, so I didn't even hear it. But Carol gave me a little bit of a breakdown via text, and I need the tea, because I was like, it never ends with Blake. It just really never ends. We'll never be rid of her.
But the drama was so good today. Like, I felt like I was having like such a good day, because I'm like, when there's infighting inside the systems, like, I don't know why that just like made me go and had a pep in my step, because here she was propping Blake up. And I know that, Carol, and I think you probably think similar to where it's like, well, the law was there for a reason, just not for Blake. But at the same time, I felt like, she tried to use Blake when it was convenient, and then now that it wasn't convenient, she didn't. So I'm like, they're eating each other. It kind of reminds me of like Sony, because Angie for a second there kind of flip-flopped. Y'all remember when Angie flip-flopped? She was telling Blake what she wanted to hear, and then and then she kind of flip-flopped too, like when it wasn't convenient. So but what do you think? Here, let me pull up the Victoria stuff right here. So this is what she had posted before. So a month ago, she had posted something, and Ellsrich was just on that showed us that her TikTok caption as well was saying like the law is working the way it's supposed to. The case got dismissed. Now Blake's going to get fees. And now her latest Instagram post is like she's trying to use the law to benefit her as a PR statement. I hope the judge doesn't give her fees. So a lot of people are saying, let's give her grace, like she didn't know, and now she's doing the right thing. Or do we just stay on her neck because it's like she's still part of the systemic problem?
Okay, first and foremost, excuse my probably hyperventilating.
No, you motivated me to walk.
Hyperventilating voice, because I would like to believe that I am healthy, but I am not. But so, anyways, I don't want to speak on it because I don't fully know what I think. I don't have the facts fully in front of me. But what I will say is that I think I always have some hesitation when people flip and don't and again, I didn't hear the interview, so and don't express why. So if the only reason she flipped was because she's upset that the authorship has been snatched, I don't know if I trust that as a good enough reason for me personally. It has to be some sort of bigger thing beyond her own desire to keep her intellectual property. I guess I don't know if that's even intellectual property, but so I don't know what reasoning does she give?
Let's play it one more time. I know that the chat has already heard it, but let's just play it one more time for Botch, okay? Let's play it one more time, so because I want to get her perspective on it. Oh, wait, hold on. Shit.
We can't hear it if you're playing it.
From her attorney that Blake was intending to now move 47.1 nationwide, including she would be moving it to New York. And I responded, I'm already doing that. And can you please check with me before going forward? Because my whole strategy was to fly this under the radar, because we basically usually don't have much opposition. And I said, there's oftentimes your client is compared to Amber Heard. And so I would prefer you check with me and just stick with like mentioning the California part about mentioning it's being moved nationwide, because I was worried that this is going to become just a PR campaign for her, and it wasn't going to be about survivors anymore. It was going to be about like, I don't want her to turn my bill into the Met Gala.
Yeah, right. So well said. And so what was their response?
From what I understand is her attorney wrote me back and said, thank you for your perspective, and that she still moved forward without me being included in additional communications and meetings about moving the bill in New York. It came to light that this spring, her attorney was having meetings that I was unaware of with one of the advocacy groups once a week, where she was assisting in redrafting the bill. And I understood that she added or contributed to an additional paragraph, and I kept asking to see the additional paragraph. It was never sent to me, but I understood it was something to protect the attorneys who would be, like the equivalent of like Blake's attorney. And so I asked for that portion to be removed from the bill language because I felt the, focus should be on survivors purely because attorneys have insurance.
So, okay, there is more to the video. Hold on. Let me share this tab real quick. I don't know how to make it bigger from here. Hold on. I'll just zoom in. Okay, so there was that part, but apparently there was more to the video here. Hold on, because we already saw that part. Let me
This had been handled before I dismissed the case. So how did you envision this, this would have gone down? How should this have gone down?
In my opinion, if the case is dismissed on a different basis, it stops at that point where it's dismissed. And the procedural point and it went away. And it should not continue after the case has been dismissed, the damages part.
So if she wanted to file this motion, she should have done it, in your view, prior to the dismissal of the case?
Well, she had used as a defense. She had used multiple defenses, to my understanding. The first was a procedural one about where she spoke the communication happened to be in a privileged place. And that's what she...
Filing a human rights campaign or complaint with the California HR group.
Right.
So basically, she's saying that maybe we misread the law. So she's saying that the intention of the law isn't that you can get damages after the fact. If it's not dismissed on 47.1. So maybe the law is not unconstitutionally written. Maybe it's just the way we're interpreting it, because she's basically saying that if it was dismissed on 47.1, I mean, if it was missed on something, because didn't he argue that in court, Carol?
Which one? Oh, I'm sorry. Say it again.
Dismissing it on 47.1. Ellen, didn't she bring up that case where they dismissed that one, Evans versus Walker?
Yeah.
But it wasn't on 47.1?
Yeah, it wasn't on 47.1. And that it wasn't the same thing that she said here, which is it wasn't dismissed on that reason.
So we can't use that.
Yeah.
So she's agreeing to it. I don't know. So Victoria Burke is basically saying we was reading the law wrong, and Blake was reading the law wrong, because you can't use it for that. If it's not dismissed on the grounds of 47.1.
Then why did she make that post that Elsridge or Elsie shared? So now, like, this is what this was what this law was for, and
clocked her. Okay, hold on. Let's see what she continues. If she continues to say something else, hold on.
Right, and that defense does not include attorney fees. And her second defense was 47.1, which does include attorney fees, treble actual damages, and potential punitive. Punitive is not guaranteed, it's potential. So that would be, but my understanding, if he dismissed it under one completely and chose not to discuss it because Judge Lightman chose not to discuss it. Number two, he did not say, I'm dismissing it for 3 reasons. He said, I'm dismissing it for 1. So I thought we're one and done then. But then here we are.
But that's a lie. She thought, oh, we're one and done, but here we are. But yet, okay, so Elstridge uncovered a big piece of the puzzle, or whoever brought that up, because here she's saying, oh, I like, she's basically kind of saying that after he dismissed it on that, it should have been done, but here we are. Like, Blake did that intentionally, but you knew then. Maybe she didn't know how to read the dismissal back then. What do you?
Well, here's the thing: the thing, whatever else you read to us, gave the impression that she thought that the 47.1 had something to do with the decision. Which, when she was reading that, I'm like, but it didn't. So when I heard this interview now, where she said like it had no bearing to the decision that Judge Lyman made, and I was out here saying that's true. Now she's correct. So I don't know why her original post made it sound like it had anything to do with why it was dismissed. When the judge made it clear he didn't make it clear that 47.1 wasn't the reason, but he explicitly said the amicus briefs had no bearing, and also the reasons he gave for the dismissal had nothing to do with 47.1. So that she's more factually correct now. My question is, what gave her the impression that his order did give that impression back then that she wrote the post that she did? That's my question.
June, extraterrestrial. It was from June when the dismissal happened. Thank you so much to Shanonos. I don't know how to. Let me pull up I gotta scroll all the way back, y'all. Sorry, I've had a lot of people in the chat, so it's hard for me to. But thank you so much, Shanonos. Victoria Brooke should have said, "I don't want her to turn 47.1 into It Ends With Us promotion tour. I don't want her to bring her hair care products." Sorry, she just got me. I read ahead, and I'm like, I can't get out. I don't want her to bring her hair care products and Betty Buzz to the Supreme Court. Chanel knows you got me. I could just see her too, shopping the hair as she's doing going down to speak to the Senate. Which brought. Let me pull up Clark's thing because he was hilarious. And when I was doing the show slide, one of my friends was like, "Is she really?" He believed it, and I'm like, "No, it's AI."
I think
Real quick,
the question that Bocce just asked about, why did she think that? In her post, she cites a line out of Judge Lyman's ruling when he dismissed Justin Baldoni's lawsuit and just said, which Miss Lively had a defamatory comments. Wait, hold on. Let me back up, because it had not claimed that Miss Lively had made any defamatory comments other than those in her civil rights complaint, which are covered by privilege. He didn't specify which privilege.
but that's ridiculous when it's very clear which privilege.
Right, but in that one line, it just says privilege. So maybe that is why she maybe she didn't read the whole complaint. Maybe she just jumped to conclusions.
Maybe.
It was dismissed on 47.1. Victoria says that the full interview talks about the research and time that she put into the bill and what it intends. She also talks about Blake and her lawyers overstepping their boundaries for PR. But,
can I say this real quick before I forget?
You froze up, Botch. Oh, Botch froze up. Hopefully she still remembers when she comes back.
Is it me? Oh my God.
Got it. There you go. The buffering got you for a second. Oh, you're gone.
Hello?
Someone said mess a lawyer not read. Okay, you're back.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Oh, let me pull it up. Thank you for sending it to me, Carol.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. You're fully back. In 4K. Can you hear us? Okay, you're back.
What?
You're back.
What's happening? I blame Ryan.
No, you're good now.
Can you hear us?
She probably
Wait,
can't
am
hear
I back?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're back.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Oh my gosh.
It is Ryan. Freaking Ryan. No, it's Shap. We used to say it was Shap. I think her Wi-Fi went out there wherever she's walking. Okay, now I see you walking. Who else is gonna walk after this? Who else is getting manipulated by Botch?
Okay, I blame Ryan. But what I just wanted to quickly say was, hearing what this person was saying, Victoria, it was clear to me that the same tactics that Blake Lively used with the movies and then with her PR, she's doing exactly the same thing again for the umpteenth time with a new person. This is why I just don't believe Blake Lively is capable of learning and growing and changing, because her pattern is patterning. She keeps doing the same thing over again. It's stinking Groundhog's Day, Blake Lively style. I'm like, how many times does a person have to witness her doing this thing? And the people who defend her, I'm like, you defend her until she does it to you, because you know in your heart of hearts the thing she's doing is not right. And you think, oh, well, if I agree with what she's doing it against, then it's okay. You don't. It's like people who talk behind your back. Talk behind other people's back. If they talk behind other people's back, they're probably talking bad about you. And why are you going to act surprised when you hear that they are talking smack about you behind your back, kind of situation? Like, people always act like they're surprised with Blake. And it's like, people are like, that's you. Okay, I get it. I give her so many chances. Okay, I hear it. I hear people say, that's you. Okay, I hear it. But I'm just saying, she has a pattern. She keeps repeating it. And when I heard it, when I heard it, with this person, I was like, oh, she's doing it again. She really is doing it again.
Using the attorneys, she's sending those emails. They're like, oh wait, no, I need you to change this. That's not negotiable. I'm doing it anyways. I'm overriding you and steamrolling over you because I can, and I have money to do it, and I'm going to do it because it suits me.
So Victoria says we have to admit that 47.1 could truly help real victims. The thing that I don't understand is we already have the anti-slap laws and all this stuff. It's like, I get it that it's in addition to, but to me, the way that it's written, and I'll have to go and like look at it again, because she's basically saying that's not how it's supposed to be interpreted. Well, it obviously has to be rewritten for it to help Victoria. I think that's obvious, because even she had trouble right there saying like, this is how it's supposed to be, but there's no verbiage in it that interprets that. But I feel like it could do the opposite and create a chilling effect on people trying to defend themselves. Because what if someone's like, oh, I don't want to have to pay this other person's attorney's fees? And it could be the opposite. And maybe one day someone like Blake could be on the opposite end. Like, you don't know. So I just don't think, like, as it's written, maybe she could do some work on it or whatever. But as it's written, I don't think that it could help anybody as it's written. It's too complicated. It causes too much chaos in the courts. And now McSweeney versus Cohen. I want to do I want to do one with Sarah, because she follows have you guys followed McSweeney? Have you guys followed that case? It's reality TV.
No, I have not.
No, I just skimmed it when Sarah was
so they
talking
just quoted, let me see, where is it at?
Yeah, the only thing I've heard is Sarah talk about it, and I haven't heard a lot from it aside from that.
So on May 26th, McSweeney filed her 35-page opposition, which was her second amended complaint. And now she's quoting Judge Lyman, because she's also, that's where we first kind of like saw 47.1 as well. And she quoted Lively versus Wayfarer. There comes a point where the accused stops simply defending him or herself and starts taking action that a reasonable jury could view as a retaliation. So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. I honestly think that with the Cohen stuff, I mean, I don't know. I flip-flop with that one too. But I mean, it's obviously like now being cited in a different court case. Lyman's decision on the Lively Wayfarer. So I don't know. It seems like can men defend themselves? Can they not defend themselves?
It could be women too.
Huh?
It could be women too, not just men.
Or men or women. Yeah, well, yeah. It could. That's what I'm saying. One day it could be Blake Lively. Like, you never know. She might catch a case one day where she might need it. So
are you manifesting that, CJ?
I'm just like, karma today. I know, like, I don't know why I was so happy about the Victoria birth, because I was like, dang, y'all eating each other, and I'm just like with the popcorn, because it was crazy how it happened. First, it was the Instagram post that Shirley Flaw uncovered. Then it was the MK show interview, and that's when I was like, wait, what? And then DFJ brought the receipts of like, no, this girl is flip-flopping, because look, this is what she said. Here's the receipt that Carol just texted me, the one that Elsrich was talking about. She says, it worked exactly as I intended. The Speak Your Truth Act to work, meaning that now the Lively team can file for attorney fees. Judge Lyman added that Mr. Baldoni's legal team had not shown that Miss Lively had defamed him, because it had not claimed that Miss Lively had made any defamatory comments. But maybe you're right. Maybe she didn't read it. Like Blake Lively don't be reading. Maybe Victoria don't be reading either. And it only had 14 likes. That's funny. Yeah, but she seems like she wrote on the coattails then.
Until it's happening to her, like Bocce said.
Because now she wants to take authorship of another thing. It's like, dang. And I joked around on X. I was like, I could just see Ryan's raging text, right? Like, I can't believe VB is being so ungrateful. Like Victoria Burke. I'm like, after all the work that B did all year on this law and contacting the New York, like, can you imagine how, because that's what Ryan did with Baldoni. Y'all remember?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can y'all imagine him writing that? Like, B couldn't even put her kids to bed, and she was away from her kids because she was working on the law. How dare Victoria?
How do we know it was really B and not Ryan? We read that one paragraph.
That's so funny, Carol, because when I wrote it, I put she and then I put Ryan, because I think that's a Bocce thing. I don't know who started that, but I first saw it on Bachi's thing where she would put Ryan.
And Giannetti in the text messages.
Oh, is that where it came from?
Yes, she said Blake parentheses Ryan blah blah blah. And
Yep,
then,
that was from Ange. She Ryan.
That was June 9th, 2025. So yeah, it was just funny because when she was trying to explain it, scroll back up to which one, DFJ? Can I scroll back up to which one? To the McSweeney? Or scroll up the chat? What did you mean? Sorry, I'm reading the chat all late over here. I think that is from Victoria Burke. Yeah, that was from Victoria Burke. That's that screenshot. Okay. Did you catch that woman trying to pull that bill is bothered because BL caused everyone to read the bill? It's unconstitutional. She was not mad because she was trying to sneak it under the radar. See, that's what set me off too a little bit but somebody else commented on my ex post and said that that's normal. But why is that normal that they try to like lobby these laws incognito so people don't oppose them? Like that don't seem right. Because she's like, that's really common. So like you shouldn't be mad about that. Because I kind of like that triggered me when she said, she messed it all up. That wasn't the plan. We were supposed to go incognito so we'd get it passed in all the states and then we'd have no opposition. Like, wouldn't you want like opposition so the law could get better? Because if they're like opposing it because they're like, look, this isn't clear enough. This could create, First Amendment stuff. This could create, what was the other thing? The Seventh Amendment stuff where he was talking about the jury trial where if they need damages now, how do those damages get, like, how do you determine those damages if it's dismissed and there's no trial? Like, would you have to have a mini trial? So,
you know what, CJ? I mean, I could hear Blake Lively said, I did this not just to expose an alleged smear campaign. I decided to expose how bills are passed that could be potentially unconstitutional by making sure that there's no opposition. I decided that I was going to expose. I'm playing, but I'm just really tired. I could just imagine her spinning something like that, saying, "Yes, this is all my plan. I just wanted to expose everything. All she did was expose herself." I mean, no, that comes out wrong. I don't, but you know what I meant.
yes.
It says, per Victoria Burke, under 47.1, Johnny Depp would prevail. That whole Johnny Depp section of the interview, both her and Megyn Kelly made me dizzy. Because then Megyn Kelly, it just felt like both of them were like word sallying each other. I did not understand a single thing. She's like, let's let our audience know, and trying to like simplify it for the audience, but just making it more complicated. Because I was like, wait, what do you mean? Was she talking about Johnny Depp would prevail because of the malice aspect? They're trying to explain the malice aspect of it, and it was so confusing. So I don't know what the whole Johnny Depp stuff came in. So I don't know if she can explain, Ro, if you can explain that for us, because they lost me on the Johnny Depp stuff. And the advocacy group could have been Sanctuary for Families, because it is weird that they were there. I mean, but they didn't name, Ellsrich is right, they didn't name who it was, but I would bet that it might have been them, because when they sniff something out, and I know that you were trying to do your research, Bachi, and I love you for that, because you always make me think like, let me like, maybe I can change my mind about something. Like, I like it when there's a differing opinion, because then I can look into it. Because I watched a little bit. I didn't get to watch all of your show last night, but I watched a little bit of it, and you talked about like, maybe this Sanctuary for Families is like a legit NPO, and like they don't know, they're just trying to fight for survivors, but they've been problematic as far as like how they don't pay their employees really. I think they have like a 3-star on.
Well, can I just say, nonprofits, I don't know what you mean that they don't really pay their people, because that's always been my gripe about, like, sometimes when people work for nonprofits, people expect your passion to pay the bills, but it doesn't.
Well,
so most people expect you not to make much money if you work for a nonprofit.
The people that were higher up were making a ton of money, and then the workers that are on the ground, that's the thing with the nonprofits. It's the problem. It's like they prop these victims up and use their stories as kind of like billboards to get the money to come in, but the money doesn't necessarily go right back into the shelters or the people working there or anything. It goes to the people who are running it. And some people argue, well, yeah, it takes a lot of work to run the place. They should get paid. But when it's like what is it called? Not disparagement, but like it's not dispersed
A
equally.
huge disparity between the things.
Yeah, there's a disparity. I said disparagement. Thank you for the word. Bocce's over here at thesaurus. I love her. The disparity. I'm like, dysphoria. No, I didn't know what the word was. Disparity of of the profits or whatever. I mean, it's nonprofit, but you know what I mean. Like, that's my only thing. It's like, and sometimes they use these people like with the Grace Jabari stuff out of SDNY. That's why I am very cautious with Sanctuary for Families, because regardless of how you feel on whether Grace Jabari, that was a DV situation, whatever or not, he didn't get the jury didn't find him guilty of intentional abuse or whatever. Then some people said, oh, the text messages that came back after, whatever. Regardless of how you feel, whether Amber Heard or Grace Jabari were DV'd or not, they still got used by the ACLU and Sanctuary for Families because their reputations were the ones that took the hit. And then those organizations were the ones that profited from it. And that's what bugs me when it comes to nonprofits. Like they abandon the victims when shit gets hard. You know what I mean? Like you saw Amber Heard with the ACLU. They did not back her up at all. They literally threw her under the bus.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a whole conversation around nonprofits and things like that for sure. All I will say is the people that do the work really care about the work. I can't speak to those maybe above in some of these places, and especially when I apologize for the sound over there. Especially when there are some people were talking about how like there's a lot of celebrities involved, and celebrities are good because it exposes the thing to a lot more people, but it can also be, I don't know, sometimes it can get sketchy after a while, depending on like, anyways, I don't know. But so I can understand, like majority of like nonprofits don't get Hollywood support or people coming out there talking about their stuff or whatever. Most are just struggle busing to survive. So
that's why it's important to like really research the nonprofits though, because there are some good ones. Like I've seen some good ones that are actually doing boots on the ground work and stuff like that aren't, but that what I don't know. Do your own research, Botch, and let me know. I could send you over some white papers on SDNY because I spent a year when the Jonathan Majors trial was going on, deep diving on them, and it wasn't pretty. A lot of like not family reunification, where it's like instead of rehabilitating to get the families back together with like these like the fathers to be in the picture, there's just a lot going on. Like you said, we could do a whole show. I'm gonna have to invite you back, Bocce. You can be my devil's advocate on it.
I mean, and obviously like I'm also very cautious because about like the way I speak. And I have to always disclaimer me, okay? I was talking to Elsie and Carol. Elsie's got very great discernment. You know, she can call people out on their BS and all that stuff. I have some great friends that have great discernment. And it's not that I don't have great discernment, but I am going to be the person that tends to like believe the best in people and try and try and try. I want to do a disclaimer. That's not necessarily healthy or like it can be dangerous because sometimes it can be harmful for folks. But at the same time, I have to be like honest about how my brain works, right? So I do appreciate you saying like, do your own research, have people come to their own conclusion. Because when I share where I'm at and what I'm feeling, it's genuinely just telling people what I think. I've never believed that any content creator ever should demand or want people to just believe them because they said it. Like, sometimes I worry when people want like absolute loyalty because I'm like, but you're a human being and you can be wrong and I can be wrong. And so I'm very open when people are like, they disagree with me or like they think I'm too Pollyanna or too naive or too whatever. Because I'm not necessarily like disagreeing.
Not Pollyanna.
Because I might be. You know what I mean?
Pollyanna.
I am very Pollyanna. But and I mean, so sometimes people have like their thing against, not a thing against me, but like sometimes they're like, we feel like you're this too much, and they're not wrong, but it is truly who I am. You know what I mean? So I'm never like, if people find things and they think it's questionable, they have every right to call that out and say so, and whatnot.
Yeah,
I
and
am a
that's why I was
person that
like, what do
changes
y'all
my
think?
mind.
I was like, what do y'all think about Victoria? Because I'm like, I know how I feel. I'm staying on Victoria's neck. I mean, slightly there, I was like, maybe I should stay on her neck. But for right now, until further ado, I'm staying on Victoria's neck because she flip-flopped, and I don't like that. I didn't like it at all.
I
Like,
think
now
also
that
time will tell how legitimate the switch is for. Like, what changed her mind? I heard what she said. Some stuff it's like, okay, maybe she really just had bad info, because she was more accurate in what she was saying this time around than what she was saying in that tweet or that Instagram post from a long time ago. So that's kind of like all of us, where we had a particular piece of information, we became aware of other information, and we were like, oh, you know. So I mean, like, for example, sanctuary for families, for example, if people have particular gripes, they could just, people can talk to me about the facts of things. But when people are just like, this person is just this way or that way, like, to me, that just is an opinion. But if somebody can give me like, this is the reason.
Were you listening? Because you missed the first part that the woman that Elsrich spoke to, her organization is called
Oh yeah, the WAP.
WAP. Rolling. I was like,
Yeah.
nah, I want to do an edit now.
Did she make it after the song came out or before?
I don't know. I'm gonna research it, but I was like, low key. I told Carol I have no chill. Good thing I didn't go down to the court. I would have had no chill. But like, I want to do an edit. But maybe I'll get sued because she's the legal director. So I don't know if she's an attorney too or what. But she's the legal director.
I thought that's what people said that she was a lawyer.
Okay. I don't want no smoke with you, but I wanted to like you know, where she's holding the sign and put the song in the background to WAP.
Oh.
just for kicks. I ain't gonna do it. But
I think you've got copyright.
I want to give Clark his flowers real quick and get like y'all's insights on his insights from the hearing. But this is so cool that he made this little image. I just love Clark. Shout out to Reddit Clark over there on Reddit. Not only did he make this cool little meme, but we also we featured him down here. We're supposed to be right next to each other. But he went down to the Target store in Manhattan, and I think it was Manhattan, and he actually sent us these pictures. So whoever, I don't know, reposted these are Clark's pictures right here. But that Blake Brown's products were like no longer being sold, and they were on clearance. So anyway, shout out to Clark for doing. I was like, you were boots on the ground for that. He was taking pictures and everything. But let's go into his takes, because we did talk about how Gottlieb was interrupted when he assumed that Lyman said something, and it reminded me of when I was at the Perez Hilton trial where what's her name? It wasn't Ezra. It was homegirl Gavernsky. She tried to like put words in the judge's mouth, and the judge then shut her down. And then she was like, he was done with her after that. So I wonder if that's how Lyman was with Gottlieb. What was y'all's impression when he interrupted Gottlieb after this? He made the second point. Like, that's not what I said. Was it like mean, or was he like, nah, dude, that's not like, did Gottlieb try to fight back?
Like, before you proceed on that information, I gotta check you. And he was like, I did not conclude that. He's like, the issue was left open. He's like, I did not conclude that. He didn't say, I don't think I did. He clearly said, I did not.
I don't think that Gottlieb was flustered or anything by it. Now I heard that the last time he had been questioned or grilled by Lyman, like there seemed to be him being flustered. I feel like I don't have a comparison, but if I did have a comparison, I would think he was less flustered, because I didn't feel like he was flustered. Yeah. I felt like he answered quickly. Whether I agreed with the things that were coming out of his mouth or thought that it had rhyme or reason is something else, but he managed to get a response back out to the judge.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so let's continue with so, yeah, a lot of people said that Gottlieb was the better speaker. Do y'all agree with that Gottlieb was a better speaker or like orator? Because I think that's what I think he says it here. that he might have been a better orator than Ellen. Was it him? Somebody said that. Did y'all agree?
I mean, for me personally, I think I just wanted more from Ellen. It's hard to know exactly. I feel like the judge was trying to give her something to work with, to give him, because there are parts of me when I was watching that where I felt like the judge agrees with Wayfarer. And I think there were things that he, like, it's different when he was grilling Gottlieb. He had question upon question. But like with Ellen, he really didn't have any. But then he would throw some out. And I think he was waiting for her to give him something more. And sometimes she would give an answer that he was like, yes, we like know that. Like, I need more. And she's more concise than Michael Gottlieb, which is not a bad thing necessarily if the words that she communicates is enough. And there were just moments where I was like, I feel like there could be something more, but it's hard to say because one, I'm not a lawyer, and two, this is such a new law. Maybe the difference is Michael Gottlieb is willing to say whatever, even if it's not factual. And Ellen is more choosy with her words because she wants her words to be accurate. Who knows?
Gottlieb got more time too. Like at least from Inner City Press's tweets, it seemed like there was only like 3 or 4 from Ellen, and then the rest of it. Because even when it was Ellen's time, he was asking Gottlieb questions. But then a lot of other people were reporting that maybe it's because it was Gottlieb's burden more. Like he needed to hear more from Gottlieb. But how was that? Like, did they get equal time? Because even when he did the rebuttal, it seemed like, I don't know, it just from the tweets. So you guys were there live. Did it seem like Ellen didn't really get her time, her 30 minutes?
I don't think she like needed all those 30 minutes. I don't think that they were making any stretches in their arguments. That was my take. Like whenever they would cite something, they would say like, here is what it is. And no, we don't have that information. There is nothing else to add because this is so new that there is nothing to add here. Or yeah, that's exactly why this is where it's at, right? That's why we're here. And I think Gottlieb was making bigger stretches in his arguments, and so I mean, you have to come in a little more confident, a little more to make those leaps in conclusions.
Yeah, I would say that it was not split evenly in time. But again, it's not because the judge wasn't willing to give her full 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Gottlieb was almost at the end of his time, and he's like, I'd really like to reserve my time. And then Ellen came up there. It was as concise as the 2 pages. You know what I mean? So there was, I think she could have added more, but I don't know if she could have added more.
There's nothing more to add to that. Yeah.
So, but it was a lot of Gottlieb. It was a lot of Gottlieb talking, but yeah, I do think sometimes it is a possibility that more words just means more BS. You know what I mean? But but it is one of those. But I will say that I'm kind of glad that Ellen's not the trial attorney, or I don't know if she would have been the trial attorney, because people sometimes get caught up in like presentation. And like I always think about Amber Heard, like with the Amber Heard trial, her main lawyer was horrible, like horrible. And she did not help her case. And I feel like it's when you're going to trial, whoever is the one explaining things to the jury and all these different things, it does matter, right, wrong, or whatever. It does matter. And so, because it's their job to make people nod their heads and agree and see it as they're presenting it. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but that's just a personal. Maybe that's more of a personal take than it is an objective take. I don't know.
Yeah, and even the last time she did a hearing, people had almost the same perspective on her. But they're saying like she's the queen of briefs, though, so flowers for that. He got the impression that Lyman was leading to 3 options. So I don't know. I don't think I could do a poll. Can I do a poll from StreamYard? I still need to learn how to do the polls from StreamYard or YouTube. But We're gonna poll and say what do y'all think? Because these are the 3 things that he thinks is gonna happen at alignment. Deny the damages altogether. So if you think it's just gonna be deny, we'll just use the first words. You could put it in the chat, deny. Hold a trial of some sort, some kind of evidentiary hearing. So you guys can put hold for that one. Or tell Lively she needs to file a separate lawsuit. You guys can do tell for that one. What do y'all think he's going to roll? And what did y'all come out of it thinking? Like, was it just like, I have no idea? Or did you think any of these 3? What was y'all's impressions?
Let's see. Deny the damages altogether. Holds some sort of trial. Okay. As far as hold some sort of trial, for me, the question that made me think that was not going to be the case was he said, and you want me to decide all of this without a jury? And that to me was very indicative of where he sat in that decision. Like that, and he followed it up with saying, you know, what did he say? Something about due process. Hold on, let me pull it up. He said, sorry guys, I wasn't prepared for that question.
No, that's okay. Bocce, do you know which one?
For me, I'm probably out of all of these, I think number 1.
Deny it. We're getting a bunch of denies.
I think the reason is because all of the things that he was offering up, I don't think I don't think that if he's like, I'm not willing to make this decision without this or this, the options that he would give them, I don't think Lively would take. So I don't know what she would do instead. Maybe she would, though, file a separate lawsuit. Who knows? I don't put anything beyond her. So, but I think on his side, I think he would. I think he's leaning against denying the damages altogether. I think that the attorney's fees are more likely.
Yeah.
But it comes down to the whole prevailing defendant situation of like, does it need to be because of 47.1? Because if it needs to be because of 47.1, then she's not a prevailing defendant. But if it does require it to be 47.1, or is that wrong, Carol?
No, you're right, because he did signal when the questions that he asked Ellen Garofalo, he was like, that didn't, what was it that he said about like, that didn't sound right, because he's like that it has to be based on this 47.1 specifically, because the logic to him didn't make sense. He was like, if their complaint was only because it was meritless on a specific ground, and then they get hit with the 47.1, he said something like, but that can't be what the legislator intended it to be. And so it made me think that maybe he agreed with like, no, it doesn't need to be because of 47.1. I'm not sure I'm leaning that way. That's what I took from it. And is that what I understood from you, Bocce?
Well, I feel like he plays devil's advocate depending on who's speaking, because I feel like
he does,
I feel like he questioned Gottlieb on that, about it not being about 47.1. So I feel like he questioned both of them, and it's almost like demanding them to argue, like good old debate back in the day where you're like, you're supposed to argue for and you're supposed to argue against and then go at it. But I think he was probably wanting to hear, what is the argument that you're going to give me? That's why I still think that one honestly is up for debate, not up for debate. Like, I don't know which way the judge is going to go on that one, because I do feel like he asked both Michael and Ellen like the opposite question.
He did ask them, like, well, he did ask Ellen, but the part that made me think what I just said was that he said it doesn't seem that would be fair to construe, a fair way to construe that law. It wasn't a question, it was a statement to him. Like, he was like, it doesn't seem like a fair way to conclude that. Now, the rest of it, I do think he was much harder on Gottlieb, because I think that there was other obstacles to the law, and where Gottlieb wanted the law to reach, which was punitive damages and treble damages. And he's like, I don't think I can make that big of a stretch, but I can meet you like right at the beginning of it, which is maybe I don't have to specifically cite 47.1. But again, it's only based on the fact that he said it doesn't seem that would be fair way to construe that that's what they had in mind when they did that legislature. Sorry.
So which one is it? You're saying she's going to deny? Which one did you pick?
Maybe just attorney's fees, but not further.
Not deny damages altogether. So there should have probably been like a fourth one.
Yes, because Gottlieb argued that, oh, judge, you can make a way. Like judges have done that in the past. Like, what did he say? There was a statement that I was messaging someone that he said where he was like, the court shouldn't be constrained. I think he said the court shouldn't be constrained in how they want to apply this. And so meaning like you court can do what you want. You don't need to be constrained in how you want to issue this. But again, the other questions that he asked him, like he's like, all without a jury, and then he followed it up with, and you think this is permitted under the U.S. Constitution? And those two questions to me indicated that he was not leaning that way, and to him it seemed to go into that, like that being a really big obstacle. But he doesn't have to cite that it's 47.1 in order for it to apply. I got from the question that he asked Ellen, but followed up with, it doesn't seem that would be a fair way to conclude that that's how the legislator intended it to act.
So basically, it's like what they call in the legal world half on a baby. He gonna go half on the baby? Y'all think?
Granted in part, denied in part.
Maybe half on the baby.
Yeah, I will say that exactly what Carol said. He basically said you can't override the 7th Amendment, and which is the right to a jury. I found that out because I asked, was like, what's the 7th Amendment? But yeah, the right to a jury. So he's like, you can't override that. So that's why I'm more likely to believe that he's not going to grant the damages. And also, I think Gottlieb made it sound like it's a given that it's not just the attorney's fees, but that you're going to have to get damages because
he said he leaned into that word. It shall be, not shall.
But here's the thing that I feel like he skipped, and I don't know if somebody has this at all. Did it say that it shall have like attorney's fees, and then what are the two treble damages and or punitive damages?
No,
or did
it says shall be awarded attorney's fees, costs, compensatory damages, trebles.
Oh, so there's no and or.
That's how he said it on there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But what does the law say?
Oh, and then he said, and there's a comma.
Okay, so that is how the law. That's what the law said.
Yeah. That's
okay. That's okay. Then I see what it is vague. I was hoping that there was an and or that he just chose to not read, but you're saying it really just was commas. Oh, that makes it a little bit annoying. Okay.
Yeah. But also, Lyman pushed back on Gottlieb on the cases that he cited, because he was like, the cases you cited are not from the same postural position that you find yourself in. And so I thought that was really interesting. So he's like, I don't know if you're applying that right because you're not in that same position. So that's my take on that.
Well, that's that. And as we wrap up, Clark, shout out to Reddit, Clark, y'all. If y'all have Reddit, he doesn't have it to where y'all can see all his posts. So he mostly posts on It Ends With Lawsuits. That's where these are. Or you guys can go to the show notes on Celebrity Dockets and click it there. But go give him some karma. Like, he put so much effort into these posts. I love the ending to this. He says, some little tea from the courthouse. It says, and I told Friedman my theory that they didn't fight lively on continuing the 47.1 past the settlement because it would eventually deliver another round of bad headlines. And while he did not say anything, he gave me a slight nod. Is that like, if you know, you know? So a little bit of tea coming out of the courthouse from Reddit Clark. What do y'all think on that theory? Regardless of whether Brian gave the nod or not, y'all think that theory might have legs? Like, Just because look how bad that's what I keep saying. It's like these people, if you just shut up, it's a 24-hour news cycle. Like you still keeping it going. Like people weren't even digging anymore. Now people are digging into Victoria Burke. Like it's a mess. It's a mess. And the way she did, like, you know how everybody be catching strays, Ari, Josh, even Angie, like everybody was catching strays. Anybody that was even associated with her. And like people just need to be quiet. Like she's just making it so much worse because now she's back in the headline now with authorship. Now everybody's gonna be talking about how she tried to take over authorship. What do y'all think?
You know, didn't they say in a text that they pray for her? You know, so I don't know if they would want that. I think based on what I know on Wayfarer parties is, you know, and all the Wayfarer parties is that they do it. I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, you guys are giving her strength, please. But I don't think that they think that way, really.
No,
but,
yeah, not them themselves. Yeah.
I mean, maybe they had a little Emily though.
Oh, that's true.
She made her bed, now live in it, you know?
That's true. That's true. I forgot about that.
You know, I will say they are like passive, and that's why I stopped staying on Blake's neck for a little while, because when they had, and I think Kenny was the one, I know she's still here, but she's like, I don't take directives from nobody, because I took it as a directive when that came out, where it was like, I hope the internet can chill when they did like their whatever. I was like, all right, I'm gonna chill, I'm gonna stay off her neck. But because that's the kind of people they are. But then like she keeps bringing me back into her realm. Like, I'm sorry, I gotta stay on your neck. Like even today, I was telling one of my friends, and he's like, every time you talk about Blake Lively, I just think about like demons fighting demons. Like you're just talking about all these demons fighting each other. And yeah, like she just, and I try so hard to understand her, and I can't. And the more I can't understand her, the more I sleuth it out to try and understand her, and then stay on her neck.
There was a part in the in the tail end of the hearing that I laughed at, and I don't know if y'all already talked about it. Is when the judge, when Gottlieb was like, you know, part of the reason for this, like, this law is to not elongate things or whatever. I forgot what he said exactly, and Carol can correct me how this really went down. But like the judge said something to the effect of like, isn't that up to the client? Like he goes, because you know your client could be content. You know your client could end this if she wanted. And then he goes, and then there was a little bit of a laughter in the audience, and then he's like, not that I'm telling you that she needs to do that. But is that an accurate portrayal of it, Carol, or was it, do you recall it differently?
No. That's how I recall it too.
Really quick, I think Unari is going to bed. I don't know if you're still here, Unari. I want to shout out Unari. She was out at the courthouse. I've been listening to her. I haven't in a long time, Unari. Sorry I haven't shown up to your life.
Oh, okay. This is the user in the pink shirt.
Yeah, in the pink shirt. I was like, who's that in the pink shirt? And then when I found out it was Unari, I was like, I know Unari. I've been showing up to. Okay, she doesn't know me because I changed my name, but I'm C journalist Unari. She's like, thank you, CJ. I used to hang out with her all the time at night in the very early days. We hung out all the time, so I know her, and that's really cool that you drove all the way over there, Unari. Half a day to drive all the way over there, drove in the middle of the night. Like,
wow.
That is dedication. So let's give Unari her flowers. She has a YouTube channel where it's just like her musings and stuff. It's a really fun time. If you ever just want to have like a fun late night stream. Do you yeah, you were the one that kept telling me when I was on X to start my channel. Well, I did start the channel. See how we all inspire each other? Yep. Yeah, it was a family reunion. So if y'all ever want like a chill little I don't know if Christina, if you could put her YouTube in the chat. But that's Unari. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt y'all, but she's saying she was going to sleep. So I was like, hold up. Don't just do a drive-by. I'm like, let me shout you out real quick, Unari. So that's her. Yeah, she's been on the Blake stuff for a while too. So that's cool. Supporting Baldoni. There was also some fans, right? Like Ellsrich was like taken aback that there was people. Did a lot of people come up to y'all as well?
Yeah. I mean, it's just very I don't know if this time Abachi, since you were there, like, doesn't it feel a little chaotic at the end? Like a lot of sound, a lot of different conversations, a lot of movement, and then the sirens and the honking.
Oh, she's muted. You're muted.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, it was an overwhelming experience for me. I said, like, people were like, we're asking, like, and even Elsie asked, like, at the tail end, like, why haven't you been like on TV, like doing any of like the video? But I just wanted to kind of drink it in. It was my first time there. I am not a natural interviewer like Elsie. Like, I can't. I it's I so I
I
like
want to see the inner court report because that's what I was looking forward to. Elsie too. I was like, dude, I can't wait. New level unlocked. Elsie as the court reporter. She did really good. So I was hoping to see. I was like, where's Bocce? And then at first I thought you didn't show up. I was like, did she show up? Did her plane? I was all worried. I was like, did her plane land? Like, what's going on? And then Lauren, I didn't see her. I didn't realize that the stuff happened with her mom. Prayers up to Lauren's mom. But I was like, where was Lauren afterwards? You could tell it is chaotic though. At the end, it was like all these lawyers coming out. You're trying to catch the lawyers. It was pretty like a lot of adrenaline rush. Would you guys say like there was like a upper high and then it's like the come down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and plus we all had to head to the hotel. I mean, not the hotel, the airport. So you didn't even have a chance to kind of calm because you had to hurry off already. So I mean, ideally, I would have loved to have a sit down with folks around a meal and kind of unpack things together, but we really didn't have that opportunity.
Yeah, I would have loved that too. And even Elsie said that too. She was like, I wish we could have all sat down at a table and been able to chat about this.
Yeah, for sure. But no, I mean,
go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say before because I wanted to play this game with y'all. It's not like a game, but it's called Defend or Dismiss on some of the other. I wanted to give people a preview of the site of some of the other cases because we didn't have time to do docket rundown today. But before that, I want to just get your take, like a real quick take. What was your favorite part about being boots on the ground and your least favorite part about being boots on the ground? I should have sent y'all the questions ahead of time. Everybody's like, "I'll be putting me on the spot."
I think my favorite part is at the beginning to see the lawyers walk in. That's my favorite part, at least from the actual trial. And then getting to chat with everyone, all the content creators, with Bocce and Elsrich and all there's some folks that are comment creators that don't have channels but have great thoughts or add to the conversation, and that's nice.
Yeah, actually, sames. My highlight was Clark trying to convince me to talk to Brian Friedman and Kevin Fritz, and brought me physically up there to talk to Brian Friedman, and I was like, hi. But yeah, and then even when I saw Ellen going into the room, like the courtroom, and I was like, Ellen, and she turned around, and I was like,
you went, that's Ellen, and I was like, yeah. And then you went, Ellen. She turned around.
I just said Ellen, but I wasn't trying to make her turn around. But I just Ellen. So, and then she turned around and waved, and then she walked in, and then I was like, and then Teresa was laughing because I made eye contact, and I was like. But so like that was a highlight, and but obviously yes, the content creators that I haven't met in person and meeting them in person for the very first time, and then all of the folks that support us, and and putting a face to some of the usernames or whatnot was cool. I mean, there were some folks that I was still trying to connect. So if there's folks that came that day and said hi. Like, if you could feel free to comment like on a video and tell me, because I was trying to like remember some of the folks, like their names, because there were several different folks that I'm like, oh, I should have written down their name or whatnot. So, but the minus really was just the hecticness and not being able to really sit down and not eat. I was so hungry, y'all. I didn't eat all day.
Yeah.
So I ended up with Wendy's.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the minus would be, I think at some point you do get overwhelmed, and then with that, for me personally, it's like, oh, did someone say something and I maybe I ignored them accidentally because I'm overwhelmed by everything. And then you start questioning like, oh, was I rude here? Was I rude there? I didn't mean to, because my brain and I'm trying to keep up with the amount of sound, noise, conversations coming in. So, and I think I called you, CJ, after my first one, and I was like, oh my God, it felt so overwhelmed by everything. And it made me feel a little more, I guess a little less weird that you were like, you know what, that's how my first one went. Like exactly like that. But it doesn't change because I've been to other ones and it still feels that way.
Well, I loved y'all's answers. Thank you for doing it on the fly. So before we wrap up, y'all, I wanted to do a quick and I wanted to play with Elsie too, because she's, everybody thinks she's a lawyer. When she was talking about how like they were smiling at her, I was like, they didn't want a FAFO. They know you're from FAFO Associates. Ezra and Sigurd didn't want a FAFO. They didn't want to fuck around and find out. That's why they were like smiling at Elsrich. They're like, we don't want no smoke. Okay, let me pull it up real quick, the episode. So I did something really cool. Wait, Bocce, do you want to finish It Doesn't Take a Crystal Ball to See, since you didn't get to do it? You weren't here? Finish the lyric. It's basically the Ella Langley song, but you can put whatever, you take authorship over the end of the lyric. It doesn't take a crystal ball to see what when it comes to Blake Lively. Real quick.
That she will never stop.
It doesn't take a crystal ball to see she won't stop. Okay.
That she will never ever stop.
That she, parenthesis, Ryan,
will never ever stop.
All right, so this is a quick fun game as we wrap up, y'all. I'll let y'all pick like 2 cards maybe, okay? And I'll try to do as quick summary as I can. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 rows and it's 4 across. So
okay, so
row,
we'll 1, 1 or something, so that you know
1, this one.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna give you a little summary of the case, and then you gotta tell me whether you would take this case to defend it or whether you would dismiss it. And if you do take it to defend, let me know which side you would defend. Okay.
Okay.
You got Pitt versus Jolie. So this is the fight over the winery. Basically, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie owned a winery together, and Brad Pitt is suing Angelina Jolie because he said that she sold it as like revenge to him, basically behind his back, and so now he's suing her. Would you take this case, or would you defend it or dismiss it?
I probably would not take it. I'll dismiss it.
You would dismiss it? So this is the Pitt Jolie case, and the latest on it is that he literally just won because the Stoli group, who was the buyer, they did like a deposition. And now that we know what depositions are like, I'm so sad for this because they basically, he didn't answer 33 questions. They were like objecting to him or whatever. So after the fact the deposition was over, he went back into court and was like, this isn't lawyer privilege or whatever. And so now he has to go back in there and answer them. And this is after the fact that he just got a win with like a bunch of emails as well. So it does seem like she was trying to hide some stuff or whatever. So we're gonna be sad. I think there's a hearing in June where we're gonna get to see all of this evidence coming out. But you're like, it's too complicated because also, there's the whole they divorced and all that. That's
they both hurt Jennifer Aniston. So pass.
Pass. And then there was the penis cream lawsuit. Did y'all hear about that one?
What?
Yeah. Wait, is it not here anymore? Did I remove it? It might have its own card now. But basically, so when he won, this was on May 28th. Now that we know how PR comes out, right? The day that this came out, it didn't come out on the news at all because this lawsuit from way back in January, this penis cream, apparently there's lotion for your penis. I did not know this. But they're called Beau D is the cream, BEAUD. And Brad Pitt named his new skin company, and it's just regular lotion, not to be confused with the penis lotion. He changed his company name to Beau D as well. It's right here. So here it is. Brad Pitt's skincare line sued for trademark infringement. Sorry, I didn't see that. Brandon Pelas, founder of Beau D, registered that name, and now he basically, and Brad Pitt's company name was Le Domain, and now he changed it to Beau Domain. So he's saying that Beau D and Beau Domain are too similar, and is suing him. But isn't it funny that it's like a trademark dispute from way back in January that nobody even knew about at all? And then the minute he gets a win in the court case, this just drops. And all the headlines were like,
wait, this reminds me of Stephanie Jones and her bringing up that The Rock lawsuit that he was like just a tiny little name and a huge list of crazy.
That was the wildest. That had to be a hit job.
This has to be a PR move right there.
The penis cream. Okay, let's go with Bocce. Bocce, pick a row and pick a number.
Row 3.
There's 6. Okay, row 3. And what number? Which card?
3.
All right. Barnett versus LaBeouf. Okay, so this one is basically they had already gone. Brian Friedman actually represented FK Twigs. That's who Barnett is. Her name's FK Twigs. So it was like a DV situation. It's actually pretty horrible. Like when I did this episode, I took like a whole week off of Celebrity Dockets after I read this one. It was pretty dark. So she basically had claimed that there was some DV involved with her and Shia LaBeouf, but Brian Friedman was defending her, and they settled it out of court. So it got settled, but then it got like Amber Heard-ish. She gave an interview to a magazine where she basically was like, as a survivor, and apparently there was an NDA in the settlement that you couldn't, talk about it anymore. Well, now she got Britney Spears' old lawyer, Matthew Rosengart, and filed a lawsuit saying that the NDA was it violated the California Stand Act, that you're not allowed to put apparently the Stand Act is so that you can't include that in NDAs when you settle, which is crazy because I'm like, did neither one of the lawyers, did Friedman or Sean Hawley, know that when they settlement? So anyway, now that you know the background, would you defend or dismiss, and who would you defend?
Gosh, this is a hard one because I don't really like to say anything, but I would probably just, if I'm going to go knee-jerk reaction, I'm probably going to go with Barnett.
You're going to go with Barnett? I mean, there is a Stand Act, and like they did it. I mean, the law was there. When I read it, the Stand Act seemed legit. The thing that I'm like thinking about is like, how did 2 lawyers not realize it and then like write up a settlement not knowing that this was a law? Like,
I'm not a fan of NDAs in general. I don't know. I guess there's a purpose for it, but usually I feel like when do NDAs ever like benefit a victim? I don't know. Does it? Do NDAs ever?
If it's false accusations, it could, because nothing was ever proven in court from what the record states. I mean, he even gave an interview, admitted like he did some, messed up stuff because he was under the influence of drugs and stuff like that. But I think that an NDA could be helpful if it's like a wrongfully accused person, like that you're never gonna
but I mean, Justin didn't want one, and he was falsely accused.
True. I think this one might settle too, y'all, though, because it's in I think it got sent to arbitration, or no, they're in mediation. They got a mediation date, so we're probably not going to hear about this one until next year sometime. But FK Twigs also has a trademark lawsuit against a band called The Twigs. It's like another Taylor Swift trademark style thing. So they're called The Twigs, and she was called Twigs. So years ago, they told her you can't use that name. And so she just put an FKA in front of it, formerly known as Twigs, and just kept using it. Well, they let it go on for 11 years. And now that she pretty much is like as big as she's ever been, they're coming back and they sued her for the trademark. And now she's countersuing them saying like, nah, no, she sued them for the trademark. Cause basically they kept sending her letters saying like, you need to give us a portion, blah, blah, you're still Twigs. And she just got sick of it. And so she filed a lawsuit. She's
not still Twigs. FKA literally means formerly known as.
Twigs. So FKA Twigs filed a lawsuit initially and said, I want a court to rule once and for all that I can use this name. Like enough is enough. I'm not going to be extorted for money, blah, blah. And then the Twigs filed a countersuit saying like, no, look, years ago, we told her not to use the name. She just put an FKA and thought she could get away with it, blah, blah, blah. So that one's going to be pretty
But it does change the whole meaning. It literally changes the whole meaning. It is not, you're literally saying I was formerly known as, but but you are kind of known as still.
Well, look at Bocce defending Barnett. So yeah.
Ooh, defend her on 2 cases. You defending her. There shouldn't be no NDA because Baldoni didn't ask for one. And then the other one that I'm also covering on this docket is Shia LaBeouf's criminal stuff in New Orleans, which he finally formally got charged, but he didn't get charged for a hate crime. So they were going to include that because I guess he used homophobic slurs or whatever. And he's just problematic, period. Like, I don't know what happened. We had a whole discussion about method actors and how they like just go down this like bad like rabbit hole. There's not enough rehabilitation to pull actors out of whatever they're acting in.
I don't know if he's method acting.
I recently saw well, he went through so much in the movie Holes. He basically was like, you know, he got all screened at. There was like a lot of like mental stuff that was going through all these roles that he was trying to like immerse himself. Because if you watch, I want to do a whole episode on it actually, because if you look at the movies that he does when he methods acts, then he starts role playing it in real life. Like when he was Padre Pio, all of a sudden he was like the Catholic guy. Like I haven't seen him talk about Catholicism or God or anything since he left that role. And then just like each role that he would get when supposedly, this is why DFJ don't defend Shia, because there was a time where we're like, was he shooting dogs? That's what Barnett was saying, that to get into the role that he was playing, that he went out and shot dogs. I mean, it's never been proven, but I don't know. Him going method is crazy. All right, I'm gonna let y'all pick one more before we go.
Okay.
All right, which one y'all got?
I'll do 2-2.
2-2. All right, let's see. The Bad Bunny lawsuits. Okay. So this one, I'm gonna go with the La Casita one because he's got like 4. But the other 2 are voice theft. It's not that serious. This is like girlfriends. He makes put their voices on song and then doesn't pay them, and so then they sue him, which is just crazy. But the La Casita one is the one that's really interesting, and I just translated it into English. So if you guys want to go read it, it was in Spanish. These are all in Puerto Rico. He's being sued in Puerto Rico, but basically, you see this little house in the back or whatever.
Yeah. I kind of faintly remember seeing that.
Do you know this one? So it's basically a little house in Puerto Rico that he wanted to use for a video, and he got this old man to sign off on it. He went to his house like, "Hey, we want to use your house for the video." But then he got the idea that he also wanted to use it as like he wanted to make his own La Casita for his tour. So he went and got all the measurements and stuff. And according to this old man, he's saying that he doesn't know how to read or whatever, and that they just made him do his signature like on an iPad with like no words on it. It was just like a signature box. And that they then used his signature to put it on the contract for the rebuild of it and all that stuff. So they only paid him $5,000 for the video. And now he's saying that he's owed more money because, it's also damages because people go to his house as like a tourist spot and stand around his house and all this stuff. So would you and it's actually being briefed right now. So it's fully briefed and we're just waiting on the judge to see what he decides. And he has no chill because he's still using it in his tour. So even after the fact that they're like, stop using it.
To pay that man. If you used his stuff, just pay him.
Would you defend it or would you dismiss it? Would you be like, nah, I ain't defending you, Bad Bunny?
No, I'm not defending you. If he has money, he can pay him. He knows what struggle life is.
Can Carol defend the other person? Or does it have to be Bad Bunny?
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, you could pick who you defend. Yeah, you could defend if you want to defend the little old man. That's what I call him, the little old man.
I'm actually kind of split because if they forged his signature, that's really bad. But if I also think like, how is a house copyrighted? Like, how is that like? If I draw a house and I want to use that and it looks like someone's house, why is that a copyright, or how is that infringing on someone's intellectual property? So I guess I'm a little bit split, but either way, at the same time, I'm like, well, Bad Bunny has money. He can pay the man. Just pay him.
I mean, he just did the Super Bowl that doesn't get you paid, but I'm sure he made a lot with endorsements and shit on that. And then he's doing a world tour right now. I mean, before Drake dropped his album, he was the most listened to artist on global Spotify. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. He's got the money. So Bachi said she'd defend the little old man.
No, Carol. But I would also.
Yeah. Like, have the little man and just say, like, dude, just pay us.
Yeah.
He wants 1.7 million, though.
He wants what?
He wants 1.7 million.
I think that's reasonable.
They're gonna.
I mean, the guy was basically saying that him and his parents built it from scratch, and so like they took like the culture away from. I don't know. It's sad. Y'all should go read it. It's a little sad because he's just like, this was like built from scratch, and like now it's like almost like a a keychain. They be putting it on keychains and stuff. Like he's like,
I mean, if it's his design, then he should.
That's what he's saying. It's copyrighted because it's their design. Yeah, that's what he said. He did pay him $5,000, but yeah, I mean,
he didn't copyright it. So, but yeah, I guess if I'd go with a little.
Jungle is over here like, nah, Team Bad Bunny. I like it, Jungle. He's lying. They didn't forge his signature.
I mean, based off of what you said, if I'm assuming that the old man is telling the truth, that they built this house from scratch, I mean, well, okay, now I'm conflicted with my own argument. So you said that they used this, they had permission to use this in a music video?
They had permission to use it in the music video. That's what they paid him the $5,000 for.
Okay, now I'm conflicted because to me, it's like, at first I was like, oh, it's not cool that all these people are showing.
Not from the inside. It was just from the outside. It was just like a fadeaway shot. But then they went in there and like, I guess measured and like even down to like the inside of the house is all replicated.
I mean, but I guess I'm the main reason why I was like, pay the person is because at first I thought, oh, all of these people are suddenly coming to the house and like, that's not cool. But then I'm like, but they would have come to the house just off of that music video, not just because he started to use it everywhere else. And so that's why I'm like, now I'm conflicted again.
It went viral outside of like just the little Bad Bunny community because it wasn't like as big just in the music. I mean, Un Verano Sin Ti was a kind of big album, but it was just the people who are fans. The reason why it went viral was because he started inviting celebrities to go inside La Casita at his tours. So it became like a TikTok thing, like who's the celebrity that's and that's how it went like super viral. But I mean, we have some Team Bad Bunnies. And we have some justice for the little old man.
Now I'm conflicted again, but I don't know what the law is.
It's translated to English, so y'all can read it in English. Y'all go check it out on the site.
Man, maybe I should do a Bad Bunny one. Just because it's like, is it the old person thing? Now I'm a little bit intrigued.
What is that like? You know how the lottery offers you to pay out like over time? I mean, the man is 84 years old. Can't he like pay him out over time?
I mean, he can, but he owes all this other. Like, he's got 3 voice theft lawsuits against him from his former girlfriends. Everybody just wants a bag from Bad Bunny, but we'll see how they turn out. I haven't translated the voice theft ones, but I do have the docket for those that speak Spanish and want to go like look at it in Spanish. But I do plan on translating the voice theft ones. All of these are all fully briefed. So there's nothing like moving in them. We're just waiting for the Puerto Rican judge to Bachi gonna do I love you, DFJ. Bachi gonna do 17 questions with Bad Bunny.
That would be epic.
I cannot. All right, one last one for the road. I know me and my Russian goodbye. Last one, because we just be having so much fun. Last one, I promise. Should we let the chat pick?
Sure.
Last one. All right. Somebody in the chat pick a number, a row and a number. First one. We'll do whatever y'all pick. Let me go find the dang board again. All right, let's see what the first person in the chat. Pick a row number. Oh, let me pull up the board. Hold up. All right. Let me go look at the chat. Who gonna pick? Okay, somebody said 4-4. Julianne, you were the first one. So we're going to go with 4-4. R2 spot 4, 3-2. Julianne got it. She said 4-4, so we're going to go with 4-4. I don't know what I did. I messed up the... okay, so 4-4. Let's see. Oh, the Combs appeal. Y'all chose a controversial one. Should we pick? Or y'all want to do Combs? Because there's a ton of stuff that's coming out on this. This one's spicy.
Keep that man in jail.
I know y'all are going to dismiss this one, but let's just talk about all the tea that's coming out of the Combs trial. His video got leaked with 50 Cent's girlfriend just recently, right? And like, who leaked that video? Because it's like, who would have access to it? The bull that he hired, right? Or Diddy. But the weird part is that Diddy and 50 Cent have been fighting on the side. Get this, the same day that video dropped, y'all, his release date got moved up again. Y'all remember he was supposed to get released in June. Then it got moved to May with like, and we still don't know why. I try to do the math on like the different stuff and research it. Basically, there's like these programs that you could go into, like not internships, but like, you know, like if you work doing like manufacturing jobs in jail or like things like that. And then obviously good behavior that take off days. But like, how many months is that from June to February? February, March, April, May, June. That's 4 months he's cut off since he got that. So I don't know why I felt like that was sus, because the very same day, and none of the media has reported the last two. The only reason why I know is because Diddy Dockets posted it, and I found the BOP inmate locator, so you could literally put in his inmate number and you could see when his release date is. But the media hasn't reported that he like, it's been twice. It went down to March, and then now it's February. So I'm like, that's a little sus. That video leaked, and then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, it just seems like some mafia stuff, or I don't know, some behind the scenes. We're gonna get into it because
Bocce said, "Let me get out of this conversation."
Did she leave? Oh, Bocce.
No, I'm here.
So anyways, that's the latest on Combs, and we're just waiting. But you know why I'm sad with this one is Alexandra Shapiro, our girl Alexandra. She's the one who filed the appeal brief, and
Wow.
she did a pretty good job on it. So we'll see if she can get him out, or what, get him out early. What's gonna happen with that? Cell phone, I bet. Yeah, I wonder if he leaked it. Imagine if someone leaked a video of someone, and then they said his pee was small. So that's like what everybody's been talking about. But yeah, all right. So we're gonna head out. DFJ says, "Love you, Celebrity Dockets. Thank you, Carol and Bocce, for being great guests.
Thank you for having us.
We left on a bad note, but let's cleanse everybody. We're gonna cleanse everybody in jail. Let's cleanse everybody with this last song on the outro. I'm working on an edit for Justin to the song because I really like it. It's a brand new EDM song. So that's what we're gonna end off. Carol, let's plug you real quick. Where can we find you?
On docketupdates.com. Guys, I am still working on the timeline. It is a ton of information. I'm breaking it down by date and hour by hour on some days, especially in August. So that there's a lot of work there. I'm in the docket 1233. I'm working through it pretty quickly, but I just lost like 5 days, getting ready for the trip and all that stuff. But I am still planning on putting it out. Jones, we still have Jones Be Able. That's going to come here. Oh, if you click on the timeline at the top, I put on there what docket I'm on, so you guys can track when I've moved. And this particular section of the dockets is very evidence heavy. So I'm going through emails, listing each email. I'm having connections. If people reply to that email, I have links. And right now, the only color coding is mainstream media articles are a different color than text communications or like emails and stuff. And I'll add like different color codes to events, but I'll do that at the end because I need to know like which events were like turning points or like, I don't know, the days that things happened. And I'm literally putting all the dockets. So what it'll help you do is that if there's a text message, if I went through each and every single one of the dockets, so if it's in more than one docket, that docket is connected and you'll have access to that in those timelines. So I'm trying to be as thorough as possible. I know it's taking forever, but I promise it'll be worth it.
It's definitely going to be worth it because this is the biggest archive that we will have, and this will stick around forever. So people can, like, it's Team Truth. We're going to see, there's even a learning hub. It's teaching y'all about like the SH stuff, what it takes to determine it, which is one of my favorite parts is the learning hub. But like I said, she has everything, the depositions, she's got the attorneys, the timeline is coming. And then if y'all see this little coffee, I know Carol won't bust herself, but I'm a bust for you, Carol. Hold up. This is where you can support this docket because I'm a huge fan of dockets. They take a ton of work. Now myself, where I'm like covering, 50 at a time. And this one was robust. Like I'm not covering all the, I link to other dockets that actually do like a lot of this work. So I'm so appreciative of her. If y'all just want to buy her a coffee to keep her fueled up, that's where you do it. Docketupdates.com. You got the little coffee cup right there. Fuel her up as she works on this time. Maybe she'll go a little faster. She gets more fuel. I'm just kidding. Fuel her up. Bocce, what's next for you and where can we find you?
TikTok and YouTube. Bocce Go Hawks. What's next for me? I don't know half the time. Really, I mean, I know I'm planning to cover Jones versus Abel if there's some movement on there. But I have not made any decisions about like what if there's another case or I don't know. I'm waiting for something to grab like my passion in the same way, and nothing has yet. So we shall see.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll look forward to it. Make sure y'all subscribe and like turn your notifications on for Bocce. She likes to go on like pretty much late night is when you go on, right? But you sometimes you fluctuate. You go on late, sometimes you go on
Well, ever since I started trying to hit my step goals, like this week, my step goal is 12,000 steps per day. So usually I wait until I do my step goal to go live. But I have gone live twice without hitting my step goals, like super early in the morning, just because I had to get something out of my brain.
Okay, yeah, so just and I miss you over on TikTok. I love me my Bocce TikToks, but you've been posting more over there lately. So that's good. You've been getting some little shorts in. But if y'all don't know, Bocce first started, she would work out. She's like the motivator for us where she's walking this whole time. Look at her. When I was like, oh, I always have to plan to go walking. And she's like, you could just walk around your living room. I'm like, oh my God, I could. Like, that's a great idea. But you know what I was thinking? I was like, you don't get dizzy just walking around like in a circle like that. I feel like I would get dizzy.
I mean, I could after a while. I mean, sometimes it doesn't even have to be. Sometimes people do things while they're watching television. I think so many times people are like, oh, that doesn't count. That's not important. Any movement matters. Any movement. So sometimes people are like, unless I'm like doing this or that, it might not be worth it. Every step matters. It really does.
All right, so let's play this song. I appreciate you both. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know that it's late. Let me pull it down, and it's a short little song. It's only a minute long, y'all. Hang in there. Hold on. Let me remove that, and then we'll add it back.
Thank you to the mods too. Thank you so much.
Oh yes, let's shout out the
Yes,
mods
thank
over
you.
on Docket Updates. I think it's Khaleesi, and then DFJ, who's like, it's past my bedtime, girl. End your live. I'm sorry, DFJ. Christina as well. Were those the only 3 mods we had today? I don't know if you had someone else
Just
on your channel. Do you have someone else on your channel? And all the members. I saw a lot of members from Docket Updates and
I don't
What are y'all? What were y'all talking? It's shouting out the different mods from our channels.
Yeah,
like Christina. Have you said? Did you say Christina?
Yeah.
I mean, Rachel's View is also a mod for me, I think, and Laura. I mean, so I feel like you probably said the folks.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Let me pull it up. Hold on. Okay, here it is. Here's the takeover. All right, here we go. Let me go all the way down. And here's an uplift, y'all, so y'all don't like leave on the Diddy note. All right.
I was gonna say also.
Wait, hold on. Let me pause it real quick. Go ahead.
I was gonna say also you have a coffee link as well. CJ works so hard in putting these.
Oh, look at y'all busking for me. Look at y'all busking for me.
And please show her some love, like the stream, like the live. Make sure you guys are following her. Any of those things help.
Oh, you're so sweet, Carol. Like I wanted to give y'all all the flowers, but thank you for y'all took some flowers out of your bouquet and gave me one. Aw, love it. Okay, so we're gonna go out with this really super uplifting song. When you feel like you're not able, there's people around y'all. Like I said, that picture, Team Truth with Brian Friedman, just all the relationships y'all have together. Look at me, I'm gonna get all emotional. No, let me just play the song. I ain't gonna cry live. Thank you for inspiring me, y'all. Have a good night.
Good night.
Wait, that's the wrong one. Hold up.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
There we go. Oh, there we go.
I'm gonna jump off. Okay.
All right. I'm trying to play this song. Hold on.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Jump off. Okay. Bye.
Here's the outro. Here we go. Oh wait, it's not playing. Hold on.
Okay, I was about to say, am I supposed to be hearing something?
Hold on. Here we go.
Of a God who moves in ways I'll never know. I don't need the answer yet. I just need to know you're set. I'm finishing what you.
Was that the end?
No. I think she did her StreamYard. Could you guys still hear it?
I don't hear anything.
Okay, hold on. I think when she ended hers, because I think she was dual streaming. I don't know if it messed mine up. Can y'all still see me? I can't
I
see
can
y'all.
still see you.
Oh, okay.
Well, I got to go too. Bye, CJ.
All right.
Thanks.
Sorry for the song. I didn't get to do the song, y'all. But I don't even know how to end the stream because I don't have anything on StreamYard, so I don't even know how to end it. Y'all, I'm lost. Okay, wait. I think I found it. All right. Okay, now I can end the stream. Sorry, y'all. Let me see if I can still pull it up. If anyone's still here, y'all still with me? Everybody leave. Okay, I really love this song. I'm like set on doing the ding song. Hold up. Let me see if I can share it. Yeah, it's like the StreamYard keeps getting lost. I don't know what happened. I disappeared, y'all. Maybe I have to redo it. Share screen. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. He's more than able. Before I see it done, more than able. Before the morning comes, more than able. When the waiting breaks me down, more than able. He has never. So that song's not released yet because DFJ's like, don't get copyrighted. I won't get copyrighted, but thank y'all. I appreciate y'all sticking around for the ding song. I'm like, I want to play the song. Everybody's like, I want to go to sleep. Everybody who stayed for the song, I appreciate it. And then Irma's barely coming in. Hey, y'all, Irma, we're logging off, but you could be replay crew. I'm stuck now. I know. I lost the tab. Like when she said she was leaving, for some reason the StreamYard tab, like I don't know, disappeared. So I had to like re-log in. I thought I had accidentally pressed the X on it. Yeah, and so like the video and comment on the way out. I appreciate y'all. Check out my community if for the next update, because we didn't get to do like the docket rundown, and there's been updates on everything like Taylor Swift, all that stuff. I might start doing like single episodes. Okay, so that song is an artist over on TikTok. Let me get his name real quick. Hold on, let me pull up his name, and I'll put it in the chat real quick. Like y'all can tell I'm not sleepy. I had a big old coffee, so y'all can tell I'm not sleepy. I'm like, oh, I'm sticking around. Hold on. So that's why I was like, it's not released yet. It's just a snippet. That's why I don't think I'll get copyrighted, because it's just an EDM mix. And so the artist's name, I'm gonna put it in. Hold on, I'm trying to find his name. It's Worship with Drew. So let me put it in. And I'm working on an edit for Justin Baldo, like the Wayfarer crew, with that song, and then like Team Truth. I want to do an edit of like everybody, like Zach and Donna interviewing Friedman. Irma's like, I'm on the subway. Shout out to Irma. Irma was there at the courthouse. Irma was there. CJ After Dark. Dude, I wanted to do my CJ the DJ over on TikTok. That's still like one of my bucket lists that I still want to do. I have a whole playlist of songs and stuff. But yeah, so it's Worship with Drew for who had asked Roses Wild. But yeah, shout out to Irma, who was also at the courthouse. So like that's so cool that y'all went to go support. Hey Leo, and Carol's stream is still on, because I guess if I'm still on, her stream is still on. So I'm gonna just end it so her people can go to bed too. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I will see you guys on the next one. I'm super excited because I want to talk about so much, and I also wanted to talk about sports. If y'all are following the Eagles drama, y'all, like all the craziness that's going on with the Eagles, like it's like an entire soap opera right now with AJ Brown getting traded. But the reason why he got traded is it's just crazy. But I'm doing the Russian goodbye now. I'm gonna actually like for reals leave, but I keep losing y'all. I keep losing the tab. Okay, I think it's over here. Found it. Is it that one? No. It's because I have so many tabs open. I just keep losing y'all. Okay, is it this one? Yeah. Okay. All right. Night chat. We'll see y'all. Take care. Bye.